Alright, last time. It was mostly a lot of talking, some saying goodbyes to the monastery, leaving Grand Master Amaris behind, and also beginning to set Adelaide down her long road to whatever mastery she's going to take. It seemed that torn between her a more militant, weapon-focused training or more spiritual and magic-focused training, it was chosen that she would take a more militant-focused one, as she began training with weapons at the monastery. Afterwards, you finally set off from the monastery, saying your goodbyes to Grand Master Amaris and Master Fenris and the ground soared beneath you as you turned and continued on your way. You did travel for a little while, but soaring through the skies, eventually looking down, you saw what appeared to be a small group gathered on a roughly hewn, poorly trod path, and something jumped out at you, specifically to Alec Cool. A single Thrycreen, hurt, unconscious on the ground, surrounded by a group of bandits and a very, very large manticore. You managed to get down, fight off the bandits, slay the manticore, and revive the Thrycreen, but you learned that he had not been traveling alone. He had a partner, and she was gone. Apparently taken by these bandits while they were dealing with him. And that's most of what happened. You did in fact kill a manticore, a big old manticore. And you managed to harvest some teeth and its tail, and the tail can go to Lincoln. You can turn that into a brand new venom, poison thing.
Oh yeah, I got the tail from him, didn't I?
Yes. Manticore tail can be turned into manticore barb poison, but it will take him time to develop it. More importantly, the issue at hand, the Thrycreen has been revived. He's still hurt, a bit, but fully conscious. Some of the bandits have been entirely drained by a needle-like proboscis that comes out of Alec Cool's mouth so he can suck their blood.
Yeah. Say lovey.
What would you like to do?
That dude was supposedly going to lead us to where they're keeping the
one that was
other
completely terrified by seeing his buddy sucked dry, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
Alright. Ito. Basically, way to get rid of Ito, he's gonna help the Thrycreen, who, like I said, he's hurt. He's still injured, up to his feet, and says, I think I'm gonna get him back to the ship to see if, get him out of harm's way.
Good guy, yeah.
Good guy, Ito. It's roughly that time that you can see the Skyweaver is finally setting down in the distance, having soared low over the ground to drop you off. It's now fully setting down as Ito turns. You can see Adelaide looks on sort of worriedly from the deck as Nipsey screams orders at Carrington, who motions angrily, well, seemingly angrily, but can't really tell with Carrington and the rest of the crew to tie off the ship stake it to the ground. You see there on the guardrail, Venta. He came along.
Oh my god.
His
Can't stay behind when Lord Sarasenu's leaving.
his foot glittering in the distance of the nearby sunlight. Lord Sarasenyo Ito returns back to the ship, a Thrycreen, basically helping lift up a Thrycreen who's injured pretty significantly from wounds sustained in an ambush from the bandits. Not cool, although it's hard to tell the difference. Just look glancing at them.
Are they like slightly different colors? Do they have any markings?
They're slightly different builds, slightly different colors, but to, you know, a quick glance, it'd be hard to tell.
Okay.
This one's not wearing all black with a black veil. That's one huge difference.
Oh,
Wearing all black. I'm wearing a dark brown, Colin.
He's wearing dark brown.
what's up with the combat music? Are we oh, I guess we're fighting?
Not really.
Oh.
You can see, Lysanthier reaches down and helps them up as, Ito says, you can be my representative on this. I'm gonna stay behind and make sure Adelaide's okay.
I represent the Green Isles.
But Ito's not gonna be there. However, you can be. As you hop off the ship, finding yourself in the company of the rest of the party, who are all gathered around a bandit who sort of stands almost sunken within himself, his eyes quickly darting around, every now and then glancing over at the manticore that is dead on the ground, its tail removed, the bandit captain that's crushed beneath it. He nervously says, right, should we get going?
We should. Yes.
That would be wise.
He quickly turns and begins walking away. Should be this direction, it's just a bit up the road, maybe a mile or so. Do you... He sort of scratches his head. Do you have any money?
Why?
Well, it's 5 gold admittance, although 1 gold for children. Maybe maybe this little one could pass as a kid?
Pass what?
I mean, admissions?
Why would we be paying admissions? I'm here to take this person and kill everyone inside if I need to.
I mean, that may be the case, but you'll still have to pay admissions. It's hard to explain. You'll see when you get there.
Sure.
It's just like GTA. Just give him the money, kill him afterwards, and take it back.
Colin, is he like bound or anything?
Did you bind him?
No.
He hasn't
I
made
just
any
told him
efforts.
I would kill him.
He hasn't made any efforts to run.
Okay, never mind.
Huh. Admission.
You walk up the road, following a roughly beaten path, before it turns and merges with another, much more prominent and much more sort of better beaten path as you walk along the road in silence. Your feet kicking up a bit of dust. You can see that off in the distance is what appears to be a large barrow or hill that rises up. It's covered in trees and descends into down, probably rising up maybe 30 feet in the air or so. A prominent landmark. It has this very stiff and steep face made of heavy rock. As you walk along this path, you can actually see that the trees are lined up sort of following the path, both or flanking it on both sides, making a lane. As you can follow the path and see, it runs up straight up to the barrow, and you can see there is a dark entrance leading into it. Out front, several more bandits, sort of standing around, mostly looking a bit bored, and a very large clockwork man standing directly next to the entrance. You're about maybe a quarter mile away.
Okay, admissions. Okay, now that we're closer, do you care to explain a little bit more about admissions?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You pay 5 gold pieces and you enter.
Are we
Okay.
seeing a show?
Where-
What is
where
inside that
exactly-
we are paying to see?
It's
Yeah.
marvelous Mr. Mystul's magic menagerie, of course.
So,
Okay.
is it just the robot or the clockwork dude right now, or do we see?
The robot
There's
and
there's
the
there's 3 bandits around as well.
Okay.
Human,
So are you,
but apparently.
All right.
so you're telling me?
I'm just gonna take.
Wait,
Go
what,
ahead.
I just want to ask him the one question. You can go off if you want to. Are you telling me they abducted and beat up a Cycrene on the road to add him to a menagerie like magical curiosities?
Well, I mean, have you ever? How often did you see anything like it before?
Every day.
They've seen it literally every day for over a year.
Well, we've never
Okay.
seen it.
Well,
That's still slavery.
that explains the Chimera, or whatever we fought.
And
Yeah,
they're
poor
going to
thing
let me
probably
walk
didn't
out of
deserve
here
it.
with this Thrycreen, correct?
That's. I don't have any problem with it, but I'm not the boss.
We're just gonna curiously walk up to the clockwork mech and just kind of poke at it.
Well, as you walk up, the 3 guards standing around sort of immediately go to attention. One of them sort of standing up, his eyes narrow, he says, "Welcome to marvelous Mr. Mystul's magical menagerie. My name's Kyle. How many will be in your party today?"
I'm gonna walk up and join Reed.
He turns around and just kind of starts.
Yeah, I guess I also walk up to meet Reed and Bruce.
I follow.
I don't know what's happening.
Going up to they walking past, you see there is a clockwork man standing there. He is actually behind a small, what appears to be ticket counter. It rising up to his waist as he stands there, next to this dark hole. You can see a faint shimmer over the hole, almost iridescent, catching the light as he stands there. Kyle says, 5 gold for entry into the magical menagerie. 1 gold for children.
Can I just slip past him and just look at the robot?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't stop you at all.
I'm looking back at Adler Cool, looking for like the signal. Like, am I on standby? Am I about to fucking RKO this dude?
Okay. I walk up to the guy asking for gold. I hand him 30 gold, and we go inside.
Okay. I was gonna say, I feel like they get warned if we start shit out here, so that works.
Yeah.
The robot.
You can stay out here
You
and talk
just
to the robot.
Reed just sighs and walks inside.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Oh, it doesn't work. No.
The guy puts basically hands the money to the robot, and it says, "Welcome to marvelous Mr. Mystul's magical menagerie." And the shimmering field over the, basically over the entrance disappears. So you're each able to walk inside. Alright. Standing in what appears to be a relatively, dimly lit group, you hear one of the voices, as you walk by, one of them sort of grabs at the guy and says, "Jerry, what the hell are you doing? You're supposed to be on duty today."
He's on duty with me.
He nervously says, "Private tour?" You can go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Hell yeah, dude. Alec was good at that.
Well, I got a 3 because I have disadvantage.
Private tour? What do you mean? Private tour? We don't give private tours. You got work to do. Those fucking cages aren't gonna muck themselves out, you little shit. And I'm not doing it. He says, look,
I'll be right back.
if you're looking for a tour, that's fine. All you gotta do is press the buttons outside the cages. It'll give you a full rundown. This little asshole's been neglecting his work.
Yeah, well, didn't he pay for entrance today?
No, I paid for us, not him.
I thought there were 6 including him.
No, there's 6 of us.
He's got cages to clean. Isn't that
Who's the
right,
6th one?
Jerry?
I only count 5 of us.
Well, he hasn't.
I guess we'll follow him while he cleans the
Oh,
cages then.
Max, that's right.
The event
Alright.
has not been put
Well,
on the map.
go ahead,
Maybe you
Jerry.
could just give him the chance to run like hell.
Where's he gonna run inside of here?
No, out. Like, give him a
Oh.
chance to run away, so that way he isn't with us. We can continue on, and
I
So,
won't lie, I thought
Yeah.
that was a wolf with lipstick on down there, Colin. I'm not
You
gonna lie
would.
to you. Is this the rare kissing werewolf?
wolf.
Oh my god.
Alright. Stand. Here, calm down. Don't move everywhere. Let me describe the fucking place for you.
I was following everybody else.
We're in front of one exhibit.
I hadn't
Standing
seen the lipstick.
within, you can see there is what appears to be a small signpost that has a button on it. This button looks almost like it's made of probably maybe some brass that's been shined up. It's on a signpost, as where you can see signpost raises up and points in 3 directions. In this direction, it motions for the Underdark exhibits. In this one, it motions towards the petting zoo, and in this one, it motions towards the material plane exhibits.
Good lord. Okay.
well, I've continued down the material plane exhibit thing.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, if
Walking
they're not,
past
like-
the wolves, you can see what looks over what appears to be a large pen. You can see that there are maybe a half dozen wolves sitting around. There is a sort of small stony plinth that has the same sort of button that is on the essentially the signpost that rises up directing directions. It appears to be a mouth made out of brass. You can see the wolves sort of have a much larger, clearly an alpha wolf of some kind, as it sort of walks around. They seem a bit anemic, a little bit thin, not particularly well cared for, as despite the fact that you're within the heart of a large underground barrow, there is still what appears to be sunlight that's glittering from around the area, as if some sort of artificial light is shining down from overhead on these wolves that pace to and fro, looking a little bit bored. As
I pushed the button.
Alright, you lean down and you press on the little button plinth there, and a voice almost immediately begins echoing out of the basically the mouth, saying, "The common wolf! Typically they hunt in packs. The Wolf Alpha, leader of this pack, was caught no more than 10 miles from here.
So, are these wolves calling?
Roll a nature check.
Uh, 25, natural 20.
The alpha is clearly not a normal wolf. It looks like a winter wolf alpha.
What is keeping them in here?
As you sort of move closer, you can see there's the same shimmering force field that was over the door.
Is there any place I can deposit 5 gold?
It does not appear so.
Well,
You can
that
roll an
upset-
Arcana check on the force field.
An 11.
You're not sure, but it is rising up from floor to ceiling right at the edge of the where you can walk to. And whenever you put your hand against it, it is as solid as any wall. But as soon as you reach out to look at it, the voice says, "Please don't approach too closely. It's for your own safety."
Colin, I'm gonna try to see if I can spawn Sternritter within the pen.
Alright.
Does it work?
It does not. Nothing goes past. It is literally a wall of force. Nothing goes past it.
So I can't. I can't even make a ghost appear within there.
Nope.
Okay, never mind. I keep going then.
It would be
Dang,
required.
son.
It to be a disintegrate spell has to be cast on it to bring it down, essentially.
Yeah, I got a lot of those, guys.
That upsets me.
I'll be right back.
Walking down, you see overlooking what appears to be another exhibit. 2 owlbears paw with some large haunch of meat. Their mouths sort of going down and sort of plucking at it, pulling the meat away. As Jerry says, alright, I guess I should start cleaning, he says nervously.
Where is she? Point me in a direction and you can
I don't
fucking
know,
go.
I didn't take her. I'm not the one that took her. I was the next guy.
Where would you guess she is?
Well, if she's like you, and she's a humanoid of some sentience, well, she'd be... Well, I guess
Please
she'd
don't
be
have
in...
the petting too.
No, she'd be in... Well, it was Peoples and Places and Stahlreich exhibit, but... I guess it's expanding. I don't know. I'm not in charge of this place.
Where is that exhibit at?
It's on the entire other side of the zoo.
What's a zoo?
It's a menagerie. It's a
What
place...
direction do I need to go in?
If you just follow this, keep going down this tunnel, it'll loop around. Follow it until you see the sign that says Peoples and Places of Stahlreich.
Okay.
But
I
would
do
you
that. I
would
keep
you first
going.
like to stop for a tea in the cafe?
Why?
Look, I'm just required to. That's part of working here.
No, I would not. Thank you.
I would really like these animals set free. They shouldn't be in these cages.
Okay.
They have food and space to move around. I think they're okay.
I don't particularly care.
I am not here for that.
Okay, are you here
Well,
by
if you
choice?
would have let them out.
I want to ask the guy, are you here by choice, or are you just as much of an animal?
Look, I've got debts to pay, and there's nowhere else around here that's gonna pay as much as this guy does, right?
Okay, sure. Can I insight check that?
Sure.
Okay, let's see if he's like... 9.
Seems
Pretty
true
bad.
enough.
Okay,
He
cool.
believes it.
I'll follow Alec. Woo! I don't know where he went, so
I just went
I
down.
want to see him.
Alright. You continue walking past exhibits. A
Oh, these
Yeti,
Griffins? Hell yeah!
a pair of anemic and decrepit-looking griffins that cautiously guard what appears to be a nest that has a single egg in it. A tunnel
Damn, bro, this is some Trigembo Zoo level
that
shit.
disappears underwater. You can see all sorts of aquatic animals swirling, moving through it. You even think that you see a merman of some sort that swims past as you walk by. You continue forwards.
He is definitely not here on his own volition.
You see up there it says, as you walk by that part, Henley, it says a sign that says to the cafe. But you also see there is what appears to be a magma chamber that has several strange lizard-like animals.
Colin, real quick, am I still in my wild shape? Has it been like 2 hours?
No, it's not been 2 hours.
Okay, so I'm gonna heal myself. So I'd still get an extra D8.
But the cafe is up that way. You can
I'm
smell
saddened by this.
delicious fresh scones wafting up through the air. Walking by that part, Henley, you can see the petting zoo, where you can see what appears to be a massive triceratops. Old. A very old owlbear as well, as they sort of languidly walk around. Several flumps float sort of slowly through the air, every now and then propelled forward by a quiet little fart that pushes them around through the air, as well as a couple of very large fire beetles about the size of a dog. Unfortunately, you can see their wings are tattered and broken, unable to fly anymore. There is not, however, any sort of covering on this, as you are able to walk into that.
Bonkers.
Alright.
Colin, just stop me when I hit the sign. Basically, I'm
That sign
only
is
looking
up
for the sign.
here.
Oh, it's those guys.
Is where now?
This one, there's a sign that directs you into the peoples of Stahlreich.
Oh, okay. There we
Oh
go.
yeah, that's how you die. I'm not going in.
What happened?
Can I pet the Triceratops?
Yeah. It's very docile, and it looks quite old. As you run your
I want
hand
a
over it.
handling check on it. I want to see if it. I don't know if I can tell how it's feeling.
Sure.
A 20.
Alright. It's, as you run across it, you can see its mouth sort of slowly works in up and down, chewing a small tuft of grass. As it sort of leans up against your hand as you scratch it. It's too small a space. These are animals that are one, not native to Stahlreich, two, definitely not supposed to be enclosed in such a small area. Like many of the other animals, it looks a bit underfed, and thin, much like the owlbear nearby that sort of walks around almost lazily. You can see that it is, you know, there's no way that it's happy here. Not really. Right. Now, as for down here, Alicool, you pass
Oh,
by
no.
the people into the areas that says the people and places of Stahlreich, and you can see, well, it is every bit the thing is they say it is. You can see that there is what appears to be humanoids kept here. They're not kept. They are behind what appears to be bars, however, but they are indeed purely like humanoid. You can see there is a Duergar in this one. He is his sort of stout little dwarven form, very kind of annoyedly pressed up against the bars as you walk by, his brows furrowed, as he says something in, well, I don't know if you speak, like deep speak, but he mutters towards you, as you walk by. At the other end, you can see there is an elf that is apparently in like a almost like a woodland setting that's been constructed down here. Obviously quite fake looking. He is kind of, basically, or she is kind of curled up, within herself. She doesn't even notice that you're there. She sits on what appears to be a camping pad, near a small fire that seems to burn, that is like ever burning. Down here, in this one, you can see what appears to be a gnome. The gnome does not seem lost or even particularly upset. She continues working away diligently at what appears to be some sort of clockwork toy of some sort. You can see she has all sorts of little bits and pieces of what appears to be the clockwork, like, guard that was out front. That she has her tongue slightly stuck out, her eyes sort of furrowed as she says, "These fucking idiots, they think they can't be improved? Everything can be improved." As she, all of a sudden there's a small, like, explosion in her face as she's thrown backwards and staggers to her feet. "I did that on purpose." And she rushes back towards it and continues sort of working away at it. And then, on the far side, what appears to be, it has a sign that says under construction, but you can see there is what appears to be a small sort of desert like landscape thing. You can see a Thrycreen is curled up in the corner, still a little bit roughed up, but not too bad. You can see it doesn't even seem to notice that you are there. It has its head down. There's the faint sort of shimmering wall in front of you. You can see each one of them has a small, like I said, all the exhibits have a small button that you can press that will talk about the sort of thing, the exhibit. And in front of you, there is what appears to be a like a curtain right here, that can be pulled to the side, made of what appears to be very, surprisingly fine red fabric. This will be the gnome.
Jesus fuck. Okay.
The name's stacked.
It's like the Lady Dimitri of gnomes right there.
Lady D and Carmen
Yeah.
San Diego had a midget baby.
Okay, so Colin, this could be a shot in the dark here, but can I tell if the wall of force is like being generated by something, or if there's like runes or something producing it? Because I know I can't get rid of them unless I know how it works more.
Roll an Arcana check.
Wait, what's our port die, by the way, boss?
It was a 16.
16 for me, not too bad.
And so, well, as I said, do you pull back the curtain in front of you?
Oh god, is there a curtain?
There's a curtain right here.
Oh.
I'll pull the curtain.
Alright.
Okay, well they can do that while I do my Arcana check.
You, dramatically pull back the curtain and see a mirror, a massive mirror, and all of a sudden the voice that says, "And the most dangerous game of all, man!" As you kind of just stare at yourself in the mirror.
So we're doing this cliche.
That was far too simple.
Basically. It has more effect if you press all the buttons and listen to the things.
Can you get to the mirror?
You can, in fact, roll a perception or an investigation check on the mirror.
Okay, if I can reach it too.
Yeah, you can walk right up to it.
Colin, is
Investigation.
there is actually a wall of force in front of the humanoids, right?
Yes.
Yep. I'm trying to
18.
figure out about it, boss.
It is a wall of force. It is, you recognize it. It can be, shattered with a disintegrate spell. You don't see any runes, per se, that are causing it within this location, but something has to be causing it.
Yeah.
Calling out 18 on this glass.
18
Uh,
on this ass.
You can see that there is, what appears to be... You don't see any way to pull it off the floor, but you swear that you see something, like almost someone standing behind you. As you look, immediately turn around and look behind you and see, in the distance, the group, but not the man you saw looking at you. He was an elderly fellow, long, well-kept beard, very nice clothing.
So I see him when I look in the mirror behind me.
Yes, you do.
I look in the mirror, and I wave at him.
I wave at Henley.
I'm not waving
Are you
at
waving
you. I'm
at
waving
Henley,
at
or are
the
you
mirror.
talking about the man in the mirror?
No, I think Henley's waving at us in the mirror.
Please,
I wave at Henley.
do not wave at the attractions.
Good thing I didn't
You're
wave
talking
at
about the man in the
attraction.
mirror. Are you asking him to change his ways?
Who am I speaking to?
Really? No one?
There's just silence.
Lou, we don't like Michael Jackson in this chat.
I literally made a reference to that song, and then Lou just said no one.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Colin?
There's no further communication.
I knock on the glass with my knuckles, like I rap on it.
That mirror is very, very valuable. Please do not touch the exhibits.
What'll happen if I keep touching it?
Please do not touch the exhibits.
Mario, that
I
mirror.
rap on it again.
There's a moment. Hold, please.
I'd like to speak to your manager.
Damn.
Henley is the Karen of our party. Oh, hello.
No. After a couple moments, you hear a couple of footsteps coming from down the hallway. As you hear two people go.
Yeah?
I'm afraid we must insist that you don't agitate or touch the exhibits. They are
Well, I'm
quite
trying-
valuable, and
I'd like to speak to who's in charge.
well, you can speak to me.
No. I want to speak to who's in charge. We already met your friend. We know you're not in charge. Who's in charge?
I mean, Magical Mr. Mystul's in charge, but
Can you bring him here?
I saw a gentleman in the cafe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a robot.
Oh.
they say, I mean, if you're looking for a private magical tour from Magical Mr. Mystul, it's another
No.
100 gold pieces. But he's a very busy man. If we can accommodate you in any way that you need.
No.
Walk
I'd like
up to them,
like
pull
to
out
follow the
100
plan.
gold pieces, and tell him to bring him now, or I will kill you both.
Well, they say you don't have to get so touchy. Well, we
I'm
just
already in an incredibly bad mood. You have, and I look at my invisible wristwatch. You have 30 seconds to leave and go get him.
They don't know what that means. Wristwatches haven't been invented.
His wrist sundial.
Yeah. Leave now and get him
Look, we just
for
work
this
here.
so-called I don't give a shit.
But we're under a mountain. The sundial wouldn't work either.
That's
I'm in an
There's
incredibly
always the
funny,
sun
Lou.
when you have
I'm in an
friendship.
incredibly bad mood. Bring him here now.
All right, calm down. All right, Tim, you wait right
get some
here
drink.
and accommodate them. If you would like, you can wait in the cafe. We have fresh buttered apple scones. And he walks away. As Tim sort of stands there, awkwardly, He says, "So how have you liked the exhibit so far?"
Not at
Pretty
all.
Sure, yeah, pretty sure we all hate it.
Well, we do have cards that you can fill out to
Are you
improve upon the
okay? Are you
exhibits.
mentally sound?
What do you mean?
Do you see the person that's in the cell here curled up on the ground, and you're just talking about
Oh,
complaint cards?
well, I mean, once their contracts are out, they can leave. But they sign
How long-
contracts.
Then why do you attack them?
Well, what do you mean?
Are they signing the
This
contract under
This
duress?
Thrive Queen here
Oh,
was
I don't
attacked
know.
and captured.
I don't know nothing about her. She's a new addition.
Well, she was attacked and captured and taken here. So,
Can I get close enough to him to figure out if he's like enchanted? Like, well, I'll either cast detect magic or I will.
Well, he said they're being paid, so
Yeah,
how
but
much do you
he
make
could-
here, sir?
why would you pay someone you're enchanted?
Well, I mean, they could even not be paid
Well,
if
I'm-
they're just under a spell.
I myself am paid 10
fair.
gold pieces every month. Kyle makes 20.
And what is your job?
Well,
Slave
mostly
owner.
I make sure the traffic, keeps its head down and going. I help out customers in any way that they need help.
How many customers do you normally get?
Well, according to Mr. Mystul, we're in a growth phase, and so
I gotcha. So people aren't interested in coming to see slaves, is what you're saying.
I mean, like I said, he motions towards the elf and the Duergar. They're being paid. They signed contracts.
It's free room and board.
Venta, if you don't fucking shut your mouth, I'll give you free room and board in a fucking grave 6 feet under.
Damn.
Look, I just got a family to worry about, and there's not anywhere else around here that's paying 10 gold pieces a month. You can be sure of
Nope.
that.
Then why don't you do one of these and get paid more, maybe?
What, in the cell? He's not interested in humans, I'm afraid.
Why not?
He
There's,
says
there's a human down there, isn't there, in the magic and the mirror?
that's part of, yeah, I've seen that exhibit as well. It's a little bit, heavy-handed.
Is it now?
Yeah,
I'm gonna use detect magic for your boss
you can.
while we're waiting for this fuck to come back.
Why don't you offer you and your family? Then you guys could be like a little family exhibit, and you could experience the human family.
Well,
Or does that not sit well with you?
if the pay was good enough. He's never offered
Oh.
it, to tell you the truth.
So you'd put your family in a cage if it paid enough?
I mean, considering how many nights we've had starving, yeah, I'd be willing to put my family behind a shimmering force field if it meant we ate every night and had somewhere safe to sleep.
Even without their consent?
Well, it is my family after all.
You don't own them, though.
Have you ever been starving, young man?
No, because I can just go hunt for food.
Well, not all of us are so lucky. I grew up in slums, where there wasn't a damn thing to eat. And I did try to get out here and survive, but guess what? Not all of us were raised to hunt.
And you think slavery is a better option?
None of them, they're all being paid.
You keep saying that, but most of them look quite distraught.
Well,
You know, when
Yeah,
people have...
I'm gonna look over that Duragar. I'm gonna try to like make eye contact. I'm just gonna make a this guy motion over to the guard. See if I can gauge like a what do you think of this guy kind of reaction.
I mean, it's not the happiest room, but he signed a contract. And
they're all malnourished. They're
I,
not eating.
in Druidic, I speak to this elf and ask her, did she sign a contract?
she sort of turns and her ears perk up at the sound of the druidic language. As she sort of slowly rises, sitting up, and she answers, "Well, yes, but we didn't
Were
know
you
it-
forced? Were you forced to sign the contract?
Well, forced, no, but we didn't know it was going to be like this. They didn't say it was going to be cells that we were kept behind 24 hours a day.
What did they say?
They said that we'd come and, people would come view us. And they said usually between the hours of 5 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I thought that we'd be able to leave after that, but instead they keep us in these cells.
And how long is your contract for?
1 year.
And how much are you being paid for this one entire year of your life?
6 gold a month plus room and board, although I wouldn't call it much of a room.
Literally a room.
I'm not even a wood elf. I came from a city. As she sort of motions at the sort of surroundings.
Great.
I can tell that they're quite dense and a little stupid.
If I had known I was going to be stuck in this 24 hours a day, I wouldn't have signed up for it. 6 gold a month isn't worth that much.
I asked about the animals. The animals can't sign a contract.
Well, of course not, but certainly you've been to a zoo before, haven't you?
No.
No.
Oh. Well, I suppose...
We go outside and look at things with our eyes in their natural area. You want to see a triceratops, go to the desert and find one.
Some of the larger cities have displays of animals. And of course, they don't count the animals as people.
Oh, but are theirs malnourished?
Usually, unfortunately.
How do you know? When have you been?
As I said, I grew up in a city. I'm not a wood elf.
So let me get this straight. You lived in the slums and you were too poor to eat.
No, he lived in the slums.
That's what I'm talking to.
Oh, I thought you were talking to the elf.
No, I can't. No, I'm talking to him.
Oh, you can. Like I said, the elf can be talked to, but
I'm asking him how the animals are in here if they don't sign contracts.
Because they're fucking animals.
Okay, aren't you an animal?
Do you ask the animal whenever you kill it to eat it?
That's different.
No, it's not. If you killed and ate a person, it would be fucked up, right?
I mean, I killed and ate a person just yesterday.
Well, that seems pretty fucked
Actually,
up to me.
just a few hours ago. Yeah, and guess what? It's still better than slavery, especially since I did it in defense of another person.
If you were equating animals to be the equal of people, then you would have to ask you would be murdered to kill the animal and eat it just as much as it would be to kill a person and eat them, right?
Well,
They're not the same.
I feel like
I'm not saying it's not.
I feel like you're wasting our time. I would really like to see the proprietor of this place. If you could go now and hurry this along, I would appreciate it.
You hear a voice that says, from the mirror that says, "I'm here."
Then come out here now, please.
You can see there is what appears to be a man that is standing in the mirror. Elderly, the same one you saw before Henley. Now fully formed. However, your reflections do not meet in the mirror now. How do you do? My name is Magical Mr. Mystul. This is my magical menagerie.
I'm annoyed, thanks. And I would really like it
Have you tried filling out the cards?
No, I haven't. But don't worry, we'll get to that. That Thrycreen that you have wrongfully captured and imprisoned here is a dear friend of mine, and you will free her now.
Well, that hardly seems right. We don't hold anyone without contracts.
We literally have proof that your people have captured her and brought her here, which makes the contract null and void.
Curious. Kyle, is that the
Well, welcome to
case? When the guys comes down, says, "Gotta
Get the one that you have shovel shit here. Now.
Jerry? That guy sucks. Why do you want to talk to him?"
Because Jerry saw what I did to the rest of these people with my friends.
Alright. Get Kyle, get Jerry. We'll have this all out. As they all, you have to wait for a while, he says. "So have you been to our gift shop?"
What about the animals?
"What about the animals?"
Did they sign contract?
"Well, no, we captured them."
Oh, so you said you don't keep anyone here without a contract, though.
"We don't keep anything that can sign a contract. Do you think the animals have the intelligence to sign a contract? Or understand
They can't.
contract law?
I'm an animal.
Would you say you can understand contract law and they can, as well?"
If I can, they can.
"I seriously doubt that.
Have you ever tested an animal? Do you know if it can sign a contract?
We test all the animals for diseases when they come in. We wouldn't want some sort of quarantine being broken."
Have you ever talked
The
to them?
disease of sentience.
Yes.
But you don't have to wait long before
knowledge.
soon Tim, Jerry, and Kyle all sort of gather round. "Jerry, this man says that Thrycreen was taken unduly. Is that the case?" I mean,
I stare him down.
I'll roll an intimidation check.
Hell yeah. Oh,
Oh.
that's okay.
I don't have charisma.
I mean, I don't. I just. Look. I just. Maybe, but. I mean, look. How she got here, you know, I'm just the guy that shovels poop, you know?
I would employ you for more than what he pays you to shovel poop, if you tell the truth here.
Also, if you just shovel poop, why were you in the hunting party?
It is free market. Because I do whatever the fuck it tell me.
Okay,
I'm the
well,
damn low man on the totem pole. You think I want to
Why are
shovel
you-
shit?
Why are you so scared of them?
I don't understand. Is the old man delusional or is it these guys? And I like point to both of them. Like,
Ziggy!
who's not in the know here? Old man, do you know they're going out and robbing people on the highway to bring you specimens?
Oh, that is quite dire. I had no clue, unfortunately.
Oh, fuck this guy, insight check.
Yeah, I was gonna say inside check.
Oh, wow, I had no idea that my men were enslaving people to bring here. That's odd.
A very clear lie.
Okay. Okay, so...
That is dire tidings indeed. Kyle, this cannot continue. Jerry, I apologize that this happened to you. But as Jerry sort of says, but you ordered me to do what they said.
I like how the henchmen
Okay,
have like the
so-
same naming scheme as the minions.
Besides the fact that you clearly lied, your own employee knows that you are clearly lying.
That being said,
I don't have time for these stupid shenanigans,
she did sign a contract.
and I will sign away your own life if you would just shut up and let me take her, and we will leave, and you won't have any more trouble. But I will not leave this place without her.
I think it'd be far more interesting if she had a paired mate to work with. How much to have you stay?
Your life. If you kill yourself in front of me here, I will stay here.
Would you sign that in contract?
No.
Oh,
I'm not going to sign a contract for you. I'm going to leave this place with her, and that's final.
Well, she did sign a contract, so...
Show me the
Kyle,
contract.
show him the contract.
Let me hold it, because I need actual proof that this is a real contract.
As Kyle goes and he pulls out a sheaf of paper, and shows it to you. It's got long legalese across it, and there is a
I take it and look at it.
rough signature at the bottom, shaky.
I see. So, the weird thing... Ziggy, shut up! The weird thing about this is that I don't care, and I just rip the contract to shreds.
Well, that is a shame.
Do I need to kill you to get her to be freed? Or are you going to propose an actual solution to let me leave this place with her?
I would say good luck leaving.
Okay.
Myself, I have no business with you. If you would like to, please fill out the common cards, escort yourself out.
I want to punch the mirror.
You can.
I'm gonna
I
hang
think
up. I'm
he's
gonna hang
Why
up on
are
the
people
side.
Beaver,
so
I think he's
obsessed with trying to
full
break
form.
the mirror?
I lean over.
He's in front of the mirror fully formed, right?
No, he's in the mirror.
Yeah,
He just
like
appeared in the mirror.
projecting like a TV.
Oh.
So I was gonna hang up on him and punch the mirror.
I lean over to Aruna, and I whisper, "Did you see the guy with the octopus for a head?"
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I'll say, is Max still
Motherfucker.
on the battle map, actually?
I was walking. I'm right next to you.
Wait, where?
So,
That
He's-
the thing above you.
I don't see him.
yeah,
That's
he's.
crazy.
I'm literally right above you, next to the elf.
Alright,
Maybe refresh.
strange.
It
No,
doesn't
don't.
take
That will
much
take forever.
to shatter the mirror as it falls away. That mirror is worth 100 gold pieces! I can ill afford such damages!
We just gave him 100 gold, didn't we?
Well, your damages are going to increase unless you let her go.
There's a pause. Fine. If you take her and leave, I'll make nothing of it. Just do no more damage to my zoo.
Fine.
And the shield sort of drops, as we can always fill that with something else. She sort of quickly stumbles through the through an open door that opens to the bars. Please leave.
I
Although,
leave.
if you pass through the gift shop on the way out, if you would like to buy a t-shirt, perhaps a small doll, anything of the sort, it is absolutely up to you. Tell your friends about Magical Mr.'s Magical Menagerie.
I have a very good friend that will actually be talking to you soon, I hope.
Ooh. I hope they're
A very rich friend, even.
excitedly says, well, please send them.
I will. Now, we'll be leaving.
How much to let the animals go? I ask him.
That's like his entire zoo, Rick.
I know.
I'm afraid, no, there's not much of a magical menagerie without the animals. I
mean, yeah.
But you did pay 100 gold pieces. If you wish, I can take you on a tour.
No, I would like the animals set free.
Some of these animals, are you sure you wish to set free? You don't even know what's in here.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Henley, the guy with the octopus for a head, he didn't look none too happy.
Yeah, but that's probably an illithid. He can sign a contract. It's not an animal.
Well, I mean, I guess.
Leaving. Colin, if Rick's talking, I'm still walking. Like, I'm leaving
Oh, that's fine.
with
yeah, I'm
Thraggary.
leaving too, and I'm stopping off for a scone.
All right.
If I see you try and stop and eat something, I tell you, do not.
What about
I don't know what this place is. Don't do that. Well,
I'm
you can
saying
make a scone when we get back.
the scones are
I
delicious
say as I
and
look
fresh.
at the spider.
There is a the cafe itself has a large one of the same clockwork people standing behind it, moving around. You can see it's well outfitted and well appointed, with many tables that are covered in board games and things like that, as well as a fully stocked bar. As the clockwork person has what appears to be freshly baked scones sitting beneath a glass dome, that are big and fluffy and delicious looking. As it sort of
I'm gonna
motions.
take one bite. I'm gonna take one bite as Alex was walking by, told me not to eat anything. I'm just giving him like a protesting mouthful.
They're
And just,
delicious,
like, leave it on the counter.
extremely well
I'm
cooked.
gonna leave the rest of it on the counter.
As the
I can't wait for that to be a contract that you just signed.
it
I yelled
signs,
down the cave, hey, this one's empty!
there is nothing. However that happens, as Alec drags you away. Jerry, Kyle, and Tim sort of escort you out. As Kyle says, sorry that you didn't have a very good experience here. I hope that doesn't reflect poorly on our work ethic. We wouldn't want to have any complaints to the boss.
I hope you suffer, and all of you suffer.
Hey, come on now, we're just doing a job.
And the man that willingly does a job that wrongs others, just because, isn't really a job, you're just a psycho.
There are other jobs out there.
Well, none of them pay fucking 10 gold or 20 gold a month. You got 10 gold
They
a month
also
to pay
don't
to
support
us?
slavery.
You pay me 20 gold a month right now, I'll walk away.
I mean, one of you isn't going to do anything.
So you don't. You don't have jobs
Now,
for us, huh?
I would, but I'm not going to pay for all of you, because I'm not going to do that. If you're willing to stoop that low to serve this man, I'm not willing to help you.
Wait, doesn't that mean we'd stoop that low to help you out? That ain't a bad
I don't
thing.
want you to help me. I don't want you to stoop low.
Hey,
You're the reason that this kingdom is going to be frozen over, and I leave.
what the fuck are you even talking about?
You'll find out soon enough.
Ask him which animals here belong to this area.
Colin, how far out the door can I be?
Gone. You can just be walking out the door.
I'm just gone then.
This area?
Yeah.
I mean,
And the Thrycreen woman with me, and I need to go pee and take this dog out.
I can answer that. You did pay 100 gold for a tour, after all.
Yes, please tell me.
He smiles and says, "Personalized tour. Come with me. What's your name?"
Just tell me the animals here that are native to this area.
You're no fun. Most of the material plane animals are from the region. The owlbears and the wolves common to the plain. The griffins farther to the north in the mountains, as well as the yeti.
No, in this ecosystem, which ones could you let go right now that would not die or ruin the ecosystem?
I imagine the wolves and the owlbears.
How much to release them?
I couldn't. You'd have to find something else to fill the pens with.
I mean, you could find something else to fill the pen with too that could sign a contract.
You could fill the pens.
I would be willing to do.
You could throw your guards in. You could throw your guards in there and say a bunch of fucking chuckle fuck retards on display.
Well, they signed the contract. I would be willing to part with them for, say, 300 gold pieces for the owlbear, another 100 for the alpha wolf, and 50 each for the wolves. That would be what? 700 gold pieces?
Are you insane?
I went through some considerable effort capturing them. It should be worth my while.
You mean you had people just run out and capture them and not think anything about their lives or what they were doing or how it would affect everything around it?
Well, that's your way of seeing it.
Well, no. How much damage do you think it caused the ecosystem by capturing those animals?
What, the 3 owlbears and 5 wolves? Probably surprisingly little.
How many owlbears do you think live in an area?
To tell you the truth, I never thought to ask them.
And how do you think it affects their breeding practices? How do you think it affects their food chain, which they eat?
Well, I've been trying to get them to breed for nearly 2 years, and they haven't done it, so...
Did you check if they're a male and a female?
Shut up. Please, I'm glad that you enjoyed the tour. If you would see yourself out. If you have any comments, you can fill out the comment cards, and we will endeavor to improve upon them. Good day.
Colin, how many wolves were there?
There are 5 wolves, 4 regular wolves, and what appears to be a winter wolf alpha. In a very small pen.
Alright, I'm gonna give him 250 gold. I want the alpha wolf and 3 of the wolves.
We are going to leave one wolf in here all alone?
Well, unless you'll take him for 12 gold. Yes.
I will let you choose which wolves you want.
I said the alpha. And
Yes.
I want the 3 most malnourished ones.
Alright. He, nods his head and says, Kyle, Jerry, Tim. He holds out his hand to take the money.
I gave him the money.
He takes it and says, well, they're yours to do with what you will. Kyle, Jerry, Tim, corral these animals and see that they are taken outside safely, I imagine. I don't imagine you don't want them harmed, as you seem so sentimental towards them.
I also don't want you to go capture them again.
You have my word.
Can we sign a contract?
You're getting quite smart, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
He sort of whips out a contract and smiles. I do like contracts.
It will say that at the bequest of 250 gold, you, anyone you employ, anyone you contract, or anyone in your family, or anyone you request, cannot capture these animals anymore, ever again. And that's it.
That's fair enough. I have no need for them.
Okay.
Surprisingly, almost magically, the words appear on the, basically the entirety of the sheaf of paper, and 2 lines appear, and he, takes his hand and pulls out a quill that has a wickedly sharp tip, and he pricks his own thumb. Uses the blood to sign. It says, I prefer something a little bit more binding than ink.
This guy's a devil.
Probably. Alright, I prick my thumb and I sign it.
Oh my god. Madman.
They're free. I hope this is a...
Colin, there was nothing else in that contract, right? It was exactly what I said?
It was exactly what you said. But he says, I hope this was a sign of good faith, you understand.
Okay. I go, sure. And I take them, and I guess I escort the animals out.
Alright. Tim, Jerry, and Kyle will help you as well. And the wolves kind of languidly sort of walk away. And they sort of stand there. And then they turn around and start walking back inside.
What?
Almost in a daze.
What?
Oh, shit.
Alright, so I'll see that and I'll be like, Henley, I find it kind of suspicious. There's a little bit of, there's more than a little bit of magic at play.
Can you do anything about it?
I mean, the man can.
Oh, you can roll an Arcana check.
I mean, the wolves need to pay 5 gold to get back in, right? So.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I can make Wall of Force like twice, and he can make it multiple times in multiple places in magical contracts. 23.
They were likely under, or they're clearly under some sort of charm spell. Probably were under a charm spell in the first place.
I mean, theoretically, I could do something about them.
You
most
can do
likely,
something
but,
about it. It is as simple as a dispel magic to get rid of it.
But I think in the long run, you're talking it'd be easier to get rid of him than it would be to dispel every single animal.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna just go out to just these 4. Because clearly we can't do anything about him right now.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like they didn't want to leave after all, and I have not gone to catch them or sent anyone to catch them. Would you say that I have?
Well, I mean, they're under magical.
I'm back.
Yeah, I said release them, and that's not exactly releasing them.
Oh, I did release them. They decided
No,
to come
no,
back.
no. That's semantics. When I said release them, that should mean that they're out of your control, out of your
Perhaps
feet.
you should have defined it better in the contract.
I don't think I should have to. I'm pretty sure the word release.
He just
pretty well
kind of
defined.
smiles at you.
Hey, Colin.
Release. Allow or unable to escape from containment, set free. Allow something to move, act, or flow freely. The action or process of releasing or being released.
Rick, shut
Yes.
up. I'm gonna do
Google
something.
doesn't exist in this universe.
No, Henley said that
That's-
from his dictionary
Okay,
brain.
so when the alpha wolf goes by me, I'll stroke its back and I'll cast a spell magic at 3rd level.
Alright. It immediately, its hackles raise up as it sort of looks around. And it sort of, looks at you and it looks at the group and it just darts away at full speed. It's gonna head to the north, actually.
It's probably not a bad.
Probably not a bad move on its behalf.
I think Aruna.
Okay. So, I mean, contract's still available, correct? And it just ran off of its own free will, so you can't go after it.
It is free. I won't hunt it down, as said in the contract.
Do we want to do that for every single one? I mean, I can, Rick.
Yeah, but if you don't think it'll hurt us, it'd be cool. I
I
mean, if
won't-
you're like, if I cast these 4 spells, we might get fucked later. Don't do it. But like,
I mean, I'm probably getting like Baba Yaga vibes from this dude. Right, Colin?
they're not good vibes. That's for damn sure.
I would just, I figure, like, since that's what I've been dealing with, it's kind of along the same lines.
Essentially,
Can't break
yeah.
pact.
A trickster. You get the feeling he's not human.
Yeah,
Colin,
crazy.
I'm in a wall.
That's where you belong.
I don't know how I've gotten in a wall, but I'm in a wall.
I don't know. It happened to me earlier. I got stuck in the actual pen of the owl bears, like along the gate.
Okay, how many more wolves did you get? 3?
There were 3.
Yeah, I'll dispel them. The spell slots are gonna take a hit, but I'll do it.
Alright. As you said, each of them is absolutely able to be dispelled as the magics on them sort of disappear. And the wolves, sensing that they have the opportunity to flee, do so. Running, they all stick together. You can hear as they, at the edge of the sort of, basically the tree line, they howl. And Henley, you can hear the lone wolf inside howl as well.
I
How
feel
much-
really bad. I feel really bad for him.
How
What?
much was it for the other wolf, Colin?
It's 50 gold per wolf.
Alright, I'll give this fucker 50 gold and I'll use another dispel magic.
Right. He
That's sad.
whips up.
You guys struck a deal just for the wolves?
He whips
I
up
did, yeah.
another contract for this one,
They're the only thing that we could release here that wouldn't destroy the fucking ecosystem.
and the owlbears.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
I didn't
God.
have 700 gold on me.
Alright. I didn't realize there was gonna be another contract drawn up. That's a no-go.
I mean, if you give me the gold and I give it to him, I can sign the same contract. I'm working
I'll
on
give
the
it-
contract.
Yeah, I'll give it to Henley. If Henley wants to do the fucking devil deal, sure.
I don't know anything about this stuff, but I give him the gold. It should be binding under the same contract. Well, I know.
course.
I know.
What
I'm
were
making
the
the same
stipulations of the
contract.
contract?
We can merely add a clause in.
Yeah, 50 more gold. And you're not allowed to go charm them again either.
Ah, well, that would be a additional
Or affect
addendum
them
to
by
the contract.
Or affect them by spells, rather. Or magic.
Or any, yeah, but say any other magical
Not
means.
spells. I do stipulate magic.
He writes it up and says, "I assure you, I will not."
You could just go get
That
other
does include
wolves.
anyone you contract, persuade, talk to, make a deal with, anything. Anyone in your employ, because that was previously stated.
Boy, howdy! I really wish we left this
He
place.
smiles. You can see. Ooh, you're learning, aren't you?
Oh, it's like Willy Wonka. He's looking for a replacement. Now he's grooming Rick.
Oh no.
But he nods his head and says, "For 50 gold pieces, I will agree to that. After all, these wolves are simple enough. I can always get some other ones."
I know, but
But he
they
will
were dying.
release it for 50 gold, and Aruna, you can dispel the magic on it,
Yep.
as it will also join its pack and disappear. You managed to free out one exhibit, but it's cost you a lot of money and quite a few spell slots.
That hurts me. I go back to the ship.
He smiles. "Ta-ta! Thank you for visiting magical Mr. Mystul's magical menagerie. I hope that you had an enjoyable experience."
No.
Kyle,
Can I
Tim, Jerry, you have some cleaning to do. I want that cage turned over so we can fill it with a new exhibit.
Can I get one of the comment cards and write "fuck you" on it and put it in the slot?
Sure.
Cool, thank you.
He's standing right next to it.
That's fine.
Ooh, a comment. He opens up the
Yeah.
box and looks at it. Huh, would you believe it's not the
I-
worst comment I've ever received?
I can't believe we ran into Trigimbo Zoo, Colin.
Oh,
I was waiting for that reference.
Oh no.
I'm.
Oh no.
He looks at the comment card and says, "Well," he holds it out to you. You forgot to sign your name to it.
No,
I would not sign it.
I mean, alright. I don't know who you are, but
Why,
I've dealt with this
I'm
shit
Mr.
before.
Mystul.
Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit, but that's fine. I didn't sign it for a reason. Fuck you, I'm leaving. I'll leave.
Ta-ta! Tell your friends.
Christ almighty.
I
Alright.
can't wait for him to die.
Well, if everyone else is gone, Mr. Mistles, I
Yes.
do believe I would like one moment of your time.
Oh, great.
He's gonna
Who's gonna sell
1v1
himself
Oh,
into
no.
slavery?
He smiles and kneels down to you. His eyes glittering. "What can I help you with, young boy?"
You can't help me with anything. The only thing you can help is yourself. You see, I highly suggest you find a way to return all these people to their natural habitats. The place you've taken up residence in is near enough to my own home, and I do know people in high up positions. I may not be able to stop you. I don't know what you are, and I have the feeling you could easily deal with me. However, there are certain people, certain exotic animals that you might covet that would be able to tear you apart. I have
Lead.
dragons at my back and my Grandmaster with me. And I will make sure they know of this.
You can roll an intimidation check.
Intimidate the devil.
Boy, I can't wait for Lou to also roll like a 3.
Nope, that's a 5.
Can we port in the devil?
Yeah, but that's,
I-
that's only a
Don't.
16 to be fair.
Don't port that.
I'm not gonna pardon that. No.
He smiles at you.
Huh, what a strange little child.
And
Just
you
some
can
friendly
see
advice.
his mouth downturns slightly. Says, "You think that I don't see your master's insignia?"
He just smiles and, actually kind of shows it proudly. I want you to see it. And he's
We
just
will
gonna bow
operate from
and start
here.
to walk away.
And if your monastery comes, I will move. It's quite simple for me to do.
He just walks away, letting it pass over by him.
He waves. Ta-ta! Ta-ta! If you wish to enjoy our lovely scones or take in the sights one more time, we will be here. Of course, entry is still 5 gold pieces. Oh, and Thrycreen. If you want that personal tour, I'll give it to you. But he waves. As you're left, you see a very, I would say, somewhat, almost kind of smug-looking magical Mr. Mystul standing at the entryway of into his magical menagerie. You can see Tim, Kyle, and Jerry are sort of standing around him. They don't look quite as happy, especially Jerry. As you can see, as you sort of leave, you can see Mr. Mystul turns to Jerry and he says, "Well, go clean it!"
Damn.
I yell in the distance, "You have a choice, Jerry!"
Alright. You can see he turns his head up, but he lowers it and slowly walks inside. As the Clockwork Man, as the three humans, well, the 3 humanoids, because it's pretty clear that magical Mr. Mystul is not a human, disappear inside, leaving only the Clockwork Man outside at the ticket booth. You make your way back to the ship. The woman, Thrycreen, she is still quiet, almost shocked. One of the things that whenever you released her, is that magical Mr. Mystul turned over the contract to her to be destroyed. And you make your way back to the Skyweaver, which is set down about a mile away. Almost immediately, the Thrycreen man leaps up from the deck as he sees you walking down the pathway. His voice, "Yahava? Yahava!" as he leaps over the edge and rushes to her as the two embrace.
No.
I just need like a little notepad of people that Reed has now like pissed off and sworn vengeance again.
All of them, Lou.
Does Bismarck count? I'm
No.
not sure if you swore vengeance against him, but you did piss him off.
No,
Yeah, I got the Aboleth, I got
To
Bismarck,
both of
I
you.
got...
I don't expect any
I'm
sort
sorry,
of.
I didn't mean to sign a contract, but before I knew it, I'd been taken, and they said that they'd keep you safe if I signed it. And
I'm gonna. Spoiler: they didn't keep him safe. They were going to kill him.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I mean, out of character, that's true. I don't think he's a devil.
Now, to both of you, I am incredibly saddened by the fact that I have to meet you like this. I would have rather have just run into you on the road peacefully, but things happen sometimes.
Well,
I would
You
know.
must. They nod their head. And then it really strikes them as they look at you and say, "You're right. Of course. You're the first Thrycreen we've seen in months, actually."
That's because I'm the first one to travel this far.
I suppose we followed in similar suit. We drank our tea and we had our visions. They led us out here.
And you both had the same vision, correct?
They nod their head sort of excitedly.
And I give them the rundown of the vision, and that was your vision, correct?
No, actually.
Oh, then what was your vision?
So, they look at each other, and you can recognize these Thrycreen are young. They would have, like, just taken their tea, essentially. They say, we saw a Thrycreen with a curved sword. We saw mountains of snow. We saw blue and gold. We saw someone we were supposed to follow.
I pull out my sword, like this one.
That's it! That's it! That's the sword! As they both sort of excitedly look at it.
Well,
It's like when you meet Jesus in person.
You're the champion.
I've been... I'd assumed that was what I was going to be called, yes, I guess. That'd be me.
But they nod their head. I mean, the other visions, the ones you were talking about. Others, they saw them, but we started having new visions. Visions of... I mean, we had visions of you. Of the sword.
Ah, that means the other ones are probably still wandering somewhere.
Well, they had...
How many of you left together?
There's only the two of us that left together. I mean, they had their visions and we had ours.
I see.
We were the first two to have that vision, but I imagine others may have at this point.
Well, I'm glad to have you. At this point, any help at all is good help.
Well, we are at your behest. And they can join the crew. They're not retainers, but they are crew hands.
On the boat?
Yes.
Probably room underneath the ship.
You've got room for more actual, like, crew hands. In fact, you're going to need more crew hands to expand the ship, essentially. Which is why I'm sort of giving them. Well,
You can tell I'm not the same as you, though, right? Like the voice.
what?
I'm like the basically how I would be perceived if I were to go back to my hive.
They look at you and a bit confused. What do you mean? You wear strange garb, but I imagine that's because you travel this strange land.
No. I made a deal because I'm willing to do anything in my own power to protect my home, even if it means never going back. And I've made a deal that means I can never go back.
So you've separated yourself from the hive.
Yes. I didn't want to, but
They sort of take a step back as they say, so you're saying you will never be able to return? You have no home. You will wander these lands for till the day you die.
The thing is that day is probably going to be quite a while. But that being said, there's nothing that says I can't build my own home.
But then they sort of say, they look at each other and say, "You don't expect that of us, do you, champion?"
Not unless you wish it.
I think I would rather not. As the two look at each other and nod their heads.
It's probably for the best. If you change your mind, that's, it's up to you, but
They sort of nod
unless
their
you
heads.
were very sure.
But we have been rude. Allow us to introduce ourselves. My name is Jethro, and this is my... I suppose we're too young to be a mated pair, but this is my companion,
cut out there?
Yohava.
Oh, okay. You cut out there. I thought you were gonna name him Jethro and Tull.
No, Jethro and Yohava. It's not band, it's Bible. We are at your service, champion. Whatever
Oh.
that may be. You freed Yohava, and for that you have my eternal gratitude.
Well, this is home, and the boat is where I live, and where I will keep living until the deed is done, I guess.
They look at the boat, and almost sort of turn to each other, and almost excited say, "Blue and gold! It's the blue and gold!"
Is it?
They nod their head. Yeah, the Skyweaver's blue and gold. It's mostly blue with gold accents.
Oh,
That is
yeah, that's true.
It is also sparkly from the
And
sail
sparkly.
shell.
I forgot about that.
And
Well.
they happily climb onto the boat, as they you now have Jethro and Yohava as your general crew to join Lysanthier and Yonduin. The day passes. It turns to night. Dipsy says, "So are we heading out of here, or what? I mean, it wouldn't
Please.
be too bad to wait a day, or rest, have a day
If
of
we-
rest."
If we could have a day of rest a little bit away from that awful, awful place, that would be great.
Sure.
I don't want anything going back near there.
Of course. I mean, there's no reason if you don't want to just set off and continue traveling, we can't.
I know, but a day of rest would be nice, but please not here.
I think we can sail a couple more miles away, at least out of the vision of it.
How, Starring map. Where are we currently?
On the map, you have passed. They'd probably be about like, maybe here.
Okay.
Getting right towards the, basically the snow line, essentially. So somewhere around in this area. Because you were, 2 weeks away from there. You've traveled another, maybe week to 2 weeks, so you'd be around there.
Okay.
I will say, it is starting to get, it's actually starting to get a bit cold again. You've been traveling at a good pace with the airship, but it still is a lot of ground to cover, so you're now like towards the end of August, the start of September. So you're getting to fall, and it's already, I mean,
Good thing I don't give a
Not-
fuck about the cold
not
anymore.
to spoil it, it's the second age of ice. The summer has been pretty damn chill for the most part, and you're getting into a winter that is going to be unlike any that has been seen for 700 years.
Well, yeah. We'll set down just like, I don't know, 10 miles away from there or so, and while we're sailing, I go to Jethro and point him towards where the animals are, and like, look, the cold doesn't particularly bother me, and if you two don't mind the animals, Grop is incredibly kind. If you want to stay down here for warmth, by all means.
Jethro nods his head as he says, "I've never been great with animals, but Yohava, she's something of an animal whisperer in her own way."
Well, she could. Yohava, if she would like, Grop, like I said, is an incredibly kind creature, and I've not been able to bring him off of the boat
And
for a while.
we would like the warmth of down here. It is quite warm down here. The elemental engine projects a lot of heat. It mostly rises up flame, but it also permeates the lower decks as well. But the two turn and say, "And what's this guy's name?" Or girls, as they look at the hippogriff.
You know, the person who purchased them is now missing, so to speak. So I don't remember. Feel free to name it yourself, honestly.
I'll name it the name that's currently underneath it.
Whatever that is.
Because there were two hippogriffs named Bella and Thorn.
There you go.
Thanks, Pornhub.
Hell yeah.
I thought that was OnlyFans.
Thanks, OnlyFans. Well, we'll see that they're taken care of. As
You've seen a
Yohava
fucking
reaches out her
single-hand
hand
thing.
out to Grop, and Grop sort of puts her face into Yohava's sort of carapaced hands, and sort of she says, "Oh, Grop's sweet." She does have
We
a
almost...
way connecting with animals, though.
We did almost win a horse race together.
Wow. You set down about 10 miles away. A fair distance for a day of rest, of recuperation. You've been in the air for a week or so.
Long rest, I presume.
Long rest. Bruce, usually whenever you're cooking while you're in air, you're pretty limited on your cooking. Nipsey does not like particularly big fires, for obvious reasons. But on the ground, you're able to cook a nice, very full meal. As everyone gathers around and you spend the night huddled around a large fire outside that manages to drive away the chill of the night air. However, I want everyone to roll a perception check.
Oh my god.
Perception.
Wow.
Mine was pretty ass.
Mine's
Nine.
okay.
Oh yeah.
I have
me
advantage,
and
so I got a
Dave-
31.
Hell yeah, that 9.
Let's
Alright, so
roll.
Alec, cool, and Bruce
Bruce Springs.
gathered around a
Bruce?
large cast iron pot that bubbles with what appears to be some sort of delicious smelling stew. You can see Bruce has gone all out on his cooking. If you want to, Bruce, you can give me a cooking utensils check. I was going to describe it as very good, but we'll see how good you are at cooking.
Woo! Hang on. Let me like figure
Nothing
out.
bad could happen. Make sure you use the portent die if you need it.
It's true, you've got a 16.
Right?
This is important.
Shit, what do I roll there?
Roll a
Wait, it's D20 plus...
D20 plus proficiency.
Alright.
Bruce is cooking for us?
Yes. Pretty good, actually. A large, thick, hearty stew. It is filled with, basically, you've managed to sort of, or Henley managed to go out and get
It's manticore meat.
vegetables, some small sort of green onions from the nearby lands. So you take a little bit of manticore meat, a little bit of game as Adelaide has gone out and started to try to hunt as well. Not
Does she
six.
go with me or she go on her own?
She's been trying to go on her own. You see,
Okay.
she's for the past week or so. She's been a lot more isolated from everybody.
When Adelaide comes back, I want to try and talk to her and ask her a favor.
Sure. Adelaide's been a little bit more isolated from everybody else. She's not seemed upset. She seemed pensive, thoughtful, surprisingly focused. You can see, you've been surprised to find that she's been, instead of sleeping in every single day, she's only slept in most days. There's been a couple days where she's risen. She's taken a sort of wickedly long sword that she took from the monastery, a training sword, and has stood up on deck and made some awkward motions with it as Reed, you've had to help her. She's beginning to learn the way of the blade and the blockchain. That way, when the enemies are finally at the gates, you can go to her. But she started learning, like I said, she's now focusing more on the martial practices, leading towards an Oath of the Crown paladin, essentially. And, like I said, I imagine Ito, and to an extent, for some reason, I imagine Reed doing it as well. Adelaide now sits around about the fire, the thick hearty stew bubbling as she sort of smiles brightly. Ito sits next to her, as he leans in and whispers something to her, and she sort of quietly nods her head. Alec Cole, you sit down next to her, a large sort of like clockwork bowl in your hand, as there's a wooden spoon tucked into it as you're able to eat as well.
Adelaide, I don't mean to bother you, but I have a favor to ask.
Of course. If I can do it, I certainly will.
That place that we left, the marvelous Mr.
Mystles.
Mystles,
Marmalade? I
Marvelous
believe.
Mr. Mystles.
That's
Menagerie.
Magic Menagerie. It's a bunch of M's.
I don't know what should be done about it, but I'm pretty sure he's like taking advantage of people and like actively abusing them.
Well, that is dire indeed.
Don't forget
I
the
mean,
animals.
like,
Henry
I know
was
there are
just
more
going to
pressing
the animals.
matters, but you're the only person I know that could maybe do something without a full, assault on the place. The man is crazed.
Well, I mean, I should be able to order them to break any contract that was made within the confines of Stalreich. It is my right after all.
Nick, are you asking this while we're at dinner or like privately?
At dinner.
Oh, well, if I were here, I'm gonna say that me and Aruna don't know if he's a man.
What
Or
do you
Aruna
mean?
and I.
You're right, prick he is.
Aruna could probably explain better than I could. Well, that's fair.
Alright, so...
Alright, prick indeed.
So Eloquai, while I enjoy the thinking, he said he could uproot his entire operation at a moment's notice and literally could create high-level spell work out of the blue. I'm not sure he's one mortal or two just going to go away that easily. They might just show up and he'd be gone.
Well,
Also, Reed already threatened him, so he might already be in the midst of moving.
I guess food for thought then.
I'm not saying your heart's not in the right place. I'm just saying I don't think it'll be as easy as you're making it out to be.
Alright, the people that got a, let's see, Bruce and Alec Cool. As you're sitting there talking to, Alakul, as you're sitting there talking to Adelaide, as Bruce, as you're stirring the pot, you sort of hear the faint cracking of, basically, what it sounds like. You're in like you're just outside a small copse of trees, the same trees that sort of lined the road leading to Marvelous Mr. Mystul's magical menagerie, and you hear the faint cracking of, sounds like branches, dried branches underfoot. As you turn, you can just make out 3 figures, sort of nervously approaching the fire.
Before anyone else sees them, I say, "Can I help you?"
They pause. You can see they sort of turn to each other. You hear a couple of hushed whispers before one. You hear the voice of Kyle call out, "Are you gonna kill us if we come in here?"
No.
Well, don't promise him that yet.
I said I won't kill them if they come here. I could kill you for any number of reasons, but if you come here to speak, I won't kill you.
That's fair.
Yet.
The 3
I'm
sort
gonna
of pause and
I'm gonna make them like little bowls of soup. I'm gonna offer them some food.
nervously sort of look at each other, and then all 3 of them, Kyle, Jerry, and Tim, because your roles were good enough for all 3 of them, sort of emerge with the firelight, or into the firelight, looking sort of sheepishly at the group, nervously to each other. Alright. You,
Changed your mind?
Kyle sort of nods his head, and Jerry says, "Look, it was... when we said it was a job, we weren't lying. We needed money."
I understand needing money.
And...
You understand, though, that if you were in their place, you would want to leave.
Oh, I know. But we weren't in their place, you understand? It's hard to... I mean, it's hard to be empathetic when your family's relying on you and you don't really have anywhere else to turn. I mean, this guy's the first, like, really high-paying job anyone around here's seen in decades.
It's probably because he's not a person.
What is that man doing right now, by the way, with the old gone?
Oh, he was... After you left, he was angry. Huh. Wow, he told Jerry he should clean up the wolf's pen with his mouth. Like, he was not happy about this deal. As Jerry sort of nods his head. And then quickly takes some soup. And he, like, gulps
Like, I need to wash wolf poop out of my mouth.
Wait, what exactly was he so mad about, though?
I mean, he was not happy about making that deal, but at the same time...
I mean, he
they
seemed
look at
happy
each other.
while I was making the deal.
Well, of course he seemed happy. You'd have to be an idiot to sort of betray that you're unhappy about it.
Did he not like that I beat him at his own game?
I mean, I guess so.
Are you guys under a contract?
They look at each other, but they and they nod their heads. But Jerry sort of says, "Yeah, but you see, that's the best part about the contracts. They're exceedingly specific."
If they're exceedingly specific, then how could he go out and hunt the Jethro? Is Jethro right?
The
No,
man,
his wife.
yeah.
Yeah, the bug.
Which,
Right.
the man or the woman?
The man.
That's when Jerry sort of nods his head. That's the fun thing. I'm contracted out to aid in any way that he deems fit, and that includes capturing any sort of wayward and strange animals, which I did. And now they've been set free, and since I've already done it once, I don't have to do it again.
Okay, no, here's my thing. So, according to the lady, I can't remember the female one's name.
Johanna.
Yeah, Johanna. According to Johanna, her
Johanna.
contract said that you could not harm Jethro, but Jethro was harmed.
Oh, that's her contract. That's not my contract.
So what you're saying? Well,
He was also
Mark
not
it
one of
low.
the ones that was there.
but didn't her contract say that if he took him in, that Jethro could go free without being harmed?
No, it just said
That's
that
not
he
what it
would
said.
be left alone.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I misunderstood what you guys were saying earlier. Then never mind. Scratch
Oh shit,
that.
I'll be right back. I have to switch my laundry.
Henley's stupid.
See, my contract is that I mostly, since I'm the low man on the totem pole, I just do what people tell me to. But that includes capturing things that might need to be captured, which I did. And now it's been done. I don't have to do it twice. And of course I have to clean up and do whatever he tells me to, but he hasn't told me to do anything. Well, he doesn't sleep, but he knows that we do, right? And so usually he leaves us alone when we're supposed to be sleeping, but we're not sleeping right now.
That's
So
horrifying.
he's expecting you to be sleeping, so you guys use that moment to escape.
They all three nod their head vigorously. That's right. But we do have to be back in the morning.
So why did you come out to find us?
Because the stuff you said, you know, about it being wrong and like the people that are downstairs. I mean, they signed a contract, but to tell you the truth, so have we, and we're not entirely happy about it. I mean, the money's good, but we can't break the contract. We can't. As he looks, we can't break the contract.
That's really depressing.
Well, that's why we thought maybe you could help us out. And help everyone out.
Well, it really seems like you just have to negotiate the terms of the contract and then make sure it sounds airtight.
Well, we can.
Or you'd have to make it in some way where I suppose you'd have to break it if he did something that you didn't want him to do.
We can negotiate the terms of the contract at the end of the contract period, which is in several months at this point.
So well, let me get this straight. So the contract doesn't end; it renegotiates at the end of it.
That's correct.
Does anyone here know more about contracts than I do?
I have an intelligence score of a lot.
Ito might.
Gito,
I was going
me,
to say the same thing.
Because I know the basics of one, but I couldn't negotiate my way out of a contract.
M. M would also be a good candidate.
I go get M.
Yeah, M's phone. Yeah.
You actually find M. He's not at the dinner. He is below deck, talking with both Yahav and Jethro, as you can hear him saying, "So, you come here off? Wow, don't see many thread crane in my entire life. All of a sudden there's three all around me. Where do you come from? What's your names? How are y'all doing? Well, you seem to know your way around an animal. Did you have lots of animals?" And he's doing his M thing, where he just constantly asks questions to learn more about people. You Thrycreen all look the same. Is there a way to tell you apart?
God, Em, that's so racist.
Secret is we don't actually look the same.
I mean, you've all got, like, weird carapaces and antenna. Bug eyes,
What?
4 arms.
Question, because I obviously don't know what they look like. Do Thrycreen to us
I mean,
look
to you,
jarringly different
probably. Probably.
from
they
each
are
other?
amongst themselves, slight variations in color and in antenna length and arm length and build are as to Thrycreen, they're as different as entirely different skin colors, but to you, a human, it's all very similar.
Well,
Like,
because
I would probably,
they're a
because
hive
I'm a
mind, so
vampire.
can't you tell the brains are different, basically, because you would communicate telepathically?
They are a hive mind, but they are not all from the same hives.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, they can there's probably a mental reception with them where they can tell as well.
Yeah. To you, however, I mean, M's not wrong. They're different, but to like just some guy from Stallreich, Thrycreen kind of look the same. Like if you concentrate on it, you can, and you spend enough time around them, you can definitely see very, you know, appreciable differences. But just at a glance, Thrycreen that you've not really met before or only just meeting, they look very similar.
You can tell that one of those two is a female.
One is indeed a female. The females
And you can
are
tell the
much
difference
slimmer.
between me and them because I probably look.
And I mean, you're used to
Hardly
speaking to
different at this
Alec
point.
Cool. You're used to looking at Alec Cool, so he looks different.
Well, no, I figured Nick looked. I could tell which one was Nick.
But
like,
the two downstairs, it's difficult.
what is the female signifier of a Thrycreen?
The Thrycreen.
Do they have like breasts or like?
No,
or isn't that
they
what
don't have. They
resembles
don't. They don't.
Hey, yo, Rick
lactate.
trying to fuck the bug titties.
Their
Usually,
cloning goes in, not out.
women are slighter of build, thinner. They have basically their secondary arms are a little bit shorter, maybe 3 or 4 inches, whereas the men have basically the male Thrycreen, their top arms and their bottom arms are roughly the same size, although their arms are a little bit thinner. Females, maybe their lower set of arms is slightly shorter, maybe 3 inches or so.
I don't know, Colin. I googled female Thrycreen. They got titties.
Well, not in.
I know. I'm kidding.
Uh,
I mean,
those
there are
aren't
pictures of
titties.
them having titties, but
they also have.
They aren't. They're egg sacs.
Also,
They
women,
just-
female Thrycreen have an elongated sort of abdomen slightly, where they would be able to lay eggs, essentially. They got an ass, whereas male Thrycreen do not.
okay.
Speaking of which, I'm assuming they're joining us for dinner.
They stayed mostly down deck, below deck.
Ah.
They are, like I said, they're new. They seem a little bit nervous to just join everybody right there. If you want to, you can invite them. It would be a friendly thing to do, but I think rather understandably, different people, different culture, they're a little bit nervous.
In
Are
that
they
case,
not?
I'd actually
Go on.
I'd
sorry.
go and I'm going to search my tea reserves for anything using ingredients from like a desert region.
Thrycreen love tea.
I know I grabbed a bunch of those pouches and shit back in way back in Erzig.
Yeah, Thrycreen love tea. I mean, an entire portion of their culture is built around drinking tea, although it is a poison tea.
So yeah, I'll just I'm gonna look through my tea reserves for something from just from a more arid region to make for them. Hopefully that will match up with their, herbs or whatever they have there.
You know what I think? I think Alec Cool and Reed should briefly discuss tea while I go pee.
Oh, Reed is not discussing tea with Alec Cool. He's
Why
just
not?
making tea for the other two.
He's from that region. You would know what they want.
I'm also at dinner with you if you wanted to ask me.
Nope.
But I do have to go pee, so I'll be right back.
Well, that's fucked.
Oh my god, I left and Colin's dead. Holy shit.
You went to go pee.
I'm back.
I think we should open the cycling up and wear them like suits.
Hey, we could have an exoskeleton then.
Yeah.
What happens if we get three Thrycreens in a trench coat? God, that was really hard to say.
You have Thrycreens.
Thrice screens?
What the fuck is this 5-minute craft video? This man's literally putting like, oh, it's not resin, it's
Epoxy?
no, it's like the stuff you make like molds out of. And it starts off with this woman like pulling the strap of her shoulder down so he can like put some of it on her like neck and stuff, and then he fucking covers her whole bare ass titties.
Well, like silicon?
Yeah, it's like a
There's
silicon mold,
silicone?
and then like all of a sudden it cuts, and you just like she like pulls her shirt down, it cuts, and then her one boob is just covered in resin, and the other one's like mostly covered in resin. It's like, what the fuck is this? Or
So
a
he's making
silicon
a
mold.
resin cast of her tits?
No, it's a silicon mold of her tit. Yeah, he's like putting the fucking mache on it now. What the fuck is this?
I mean, what are they making out of it?
I don't know.
You settle on a lovely jasmine tea. Everybody loves
Maybe he's
jasmine.
just making a mold of her titties, and he's like, all right, for when she's away, you know?
As you prepare a nice jasmine tea, a welcoming tea, so they'll feel comfortable, at least reminded of home.
And I'm just gonna drop it off at the bottom of the stairs to the stables.
M's
Not
down
going
there.
to
He says,
bother them too much, or
"Yeah, that Reed, he's a pretty nice. He's a pretty thoughtful guy. He kept me from getting killed at least." Alright. And they take the tea and sip it. Eventually they do join you, looking quite hungry. Jerry,
I will extend the bowls out.
they take them and begin eating. You see, initially they're a little bit reserved, but after tasting a bite, they begin eating hungrily. As you realize, I mean, they've been traveling for a long time, probably a bit malnourished, living on trail rations. Jerry, Kyle, Tim sit around and they say, we can renegotiate our contracts, right? But,
Did M come talk to them?
M sits down, but he doesn't really talk with them. He sort of waits to see what's going on.
Well, I explained to him the issue, because I assumed by now he knows what we ran into, correct? I would assume that would have got around the ship.
Yeah, I heard about it. To me, that does not sound like a human. That sounds like a hell of a devil. Trust me, I've made a deal or two with them in my day.
Whoa, are you telling me I made a deal with the devil?
Well, a devil. Not necessarily the devil.
Oh no. That's why Aruna gave me the gold.
Now, as for these contracts here, they are quite airtight to be renegotiated every 6 months, although it does not seem like there is an out. You can renegotiate the salary, but you cannot renegotiate your service. Did you read these before you actually signed them? Three sort of look at each other. I didn't think so. Well, these contracts are to be executed. You are to serve under the behest of this master, although there is an interesting clause here. As he looks at it. Should you become unable to do your duty, or should he be unable to pay you for your duty, you are released from this contract. We could chop off a foot.
Easy fix.
Yep.
I think that would... the only problem is that may render you unable to do your duty, but if he deems that you're still able to do your duty, well, that might not free you from the contract. Now, as I said, if he is unable to pay you, now that also frees you from the contract. I don't suppose you have a way to bankrupt this man, or dispel him to the lower planes.
Could have the menagerie shut down.
He said he'd move. I don't know if that'll work.
Well, if there was no menagerie, he may very well be unable to pay. Of course, I don't know what sort of reserves he has. If he had a large gold reserve, he could continue to pay.
Well, if they just left, could he not pay them if he can't reach them?
I suppose if you had a way to isolate them in a way that he could not find them. I imagine they'd have to be locked and secluded in some sort of separate plane of existence, though.
Yeah, but isn't that wording weird? Because how long... Does it say how long he has to pay them?
He has to pay them once every month.
Yeah, but within what time frame? Because if there's no time frame on it, couldn't you say I'll pay you in 20 years and then there, you know?
I think it
Astutely
specifies
spotted.
that they're getting paid once a month, aren't they?
Yeah, but it doesn't say... So you have to be gone for a whole month for the next pay period, I suppose?
It is astutely spotted. There is not a particular time for which they must be paid. Indeed, they could have that pay gather up over the course of the year and be all paid out at once, as long as they receive their pay.
Sounds to me like they're kind of fucked.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about taking someone to another plane of existence, I can do it. I don't know that it would work.
That's what I'm saying. He could just say I'll pay them later, and then, you know, I guess the contract still stays.
Yeah, but if he's banished to another plane, does he come back anytime soon, and does his magic still work?
I don't know. In and out of character, I don't know if that works like that.
Well,
You can roll an
Okay.
Arcana check.
well, to be fair, Colin, I'm still bound to Baba Yaga even though I'm in a plane.
If you want to...
Have fun claiming my soul when it's already
Tommy, if
someone
you-
else's.
Or actually, if you want to, you can roll a religion check for demons, devils. Or an Arcana check.
Hang
Could I
on,
roll
cat
a religion
is
check
not
too,
dealing
since
with-
I'm familiar with religions?
Sure.
That's a fat 30.
I got a 12.
Fat 30.
If he were able to be dispelled through some form or another, he would go down to the hells. If he were hurt bad enough, he would have to reform, essentially, and work his way up through the devilish hierarchy. Part of the thing is, looking at this contract, it is a 6-month contract, so if you were not able to reform within the end of the 6 months, the contract itself would be void.
So, the additional point is if he gets banished to the hells, he has to reform. The other issue being is when he comes back, he will not be very pleased with us.
Tommy, you're
for
so
having banished
quiet.
him.
Is this better, sir?
It actually is.
Okay. In other words, we can banish him, but it depends. He might not be gone long enough, and he won't exactly be happy when he comes back. And I'm sure we don't exactly want a devil on our ass on top of everything else.
It's a conundrum. Do you say, fuck you, not only Kyle and Jerry and Tim, but also fuck the animals? Or are you willing
I
to
wanna fuck you.
possibly take a devil onto your ass?
Nope.
Couldn't-
Either way, we banish. Sorry. Go ahead.
Couldn't they just be bound by a separate contract that makes them unable to receive payment by him?
They could also just... You could also get a contract with him that make him go back to hell for 6 months.
Well, I mean,
Or 7 months, rather, so that way he misses the payment.
You think that you can convince him to willingly or unwillingly sign a contract that he conceives to do that?
No, I'm saying if we made a contract with these gentlemen that made them contracted to us, but to refuse payment from anyone else, wouldn't that cause him to?
Well, fuck.
Would it be
I just
a completely magically binding contract like his are?
I don't know, Tommy.
okay.
Aruna,
Listen.
you've made some magically binding contracts.
See, I was thinking about this. This is a Runa the Hag coming to fruition very slowly. Colin, am I in any way, shape, or form possibly magical enough to make a deal or a contract with people?
Are you? Do you have a spell that can do it?
Ceremony.
I mean,
I
I
think
don't.
a question.
Does not last
Even
for
if-
very long.
Even if he could make a contract, would it be strong enough to supersede the other contract?
You
already
suspect
made?
it would not be you would not be strong enough to supersede a devil's contract, especially one that seems to be moderately powerful. That being said, Aruna, you know somebody who might be able to.
Yeah. What's worse, hag or devil, though?
Devil. Hags aren't explicitly
You can
evil.
kill
They're
the
just
ha-
mean.
You can kill the hag, you kill the devil, it goes back to hell and it comes back.
Call the law offices of Baba Yaga.
Mm,
At all sevens now.
Absolutely not.
All
Alright.
sevens. Dial all sevens now.
Okay. I'll look at the 3 guys. Or how many guys came? Sorry.
There's 3.
I missed that. I thought so.
Tim, Kyle, and Jerry. They have
Tim Barty.
they have name tags that say magical Mr. Mystul's magical menagerie.
Is Jake Matthews there too?
No, but Joseph Smoke is.
What about Tim Barty?
Alright.
Tim Barty is too. He kisses his son on the lips.
Okay.
Tim
So
can
you-
go. He kisses his son on the lips. Everyone else,
Christ.
will help you out.
Okay, so you 3. Theoretically. We can speak to someone that you would make a deal with. Much the same you've made with him that could possibly get you out of it. And I'm not saying it's a much better option, but it might work.
Sorry if someone was talking to me. I had to. The cat got in my room and he was fucking shit up. I had to get him out.
That's true.
They look at each other and say, "Well, the deal would be better than like what we're being offered." Look, to tell you the truth, we're getting a little bit wary of making deals.
I'm aware. This would
I mean, it cannot hurt to try, because you could just decline the deal if you don't think it's better.
You're only getting out the contract with the contract.
The thing is, where his is written and worded on parchment or paper, the deal you would make would be entirely verbal. So it would involve you just choosing your words carefully and not saying anything stupid.
I suppose so. I mean, I know what I want, but you know, he looks around and says, "You know, I got family over here. I can't be traveling with you or anything like that."
That's not exactly what we're asking.
We would be...
Jerry starts to cry and sort of starts putting chapstick on. It's like, "All right, I'll suck your bug dick."
Oh no,
That's
that's the deal.
not a. First of all, that's not verbal. Second of all, that's not how it works.
Look,
Points for trying, mate.
you know, we know. They sort of all 3 look at each other. Yeah, we got in a bad situation. We're not gonna fucking deny that. Right? So if you got a way to get us out, maybe, yeah.
Oh, this is such a bad fucking idea. Okay.
But it is
Great
an
idea.
It is, in fact, an idea.
Don't be a puss.
I
Do
like
it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, okay, in this...
Ultimatums for a reason, man.
Well... Oh, so... This sucks because Connor's not here, Colin. Connor wanted to talk to Baba Yaga with me. Or wanted to try and talk to Baba Yaga at
It's
some
too
point.
fucking bad. He should have been here.
Yeah. Okay. Does anyone else want to accompany us?
I will.
I will.
Oh god. Phenomenal.
I see no
Okay.
reason to speak to the hag.
You make it seem like I should say now. So I'm gonna stay here.
I'm learning about Henley's learning about contracts today.
Yeah,
He's gonna come
Henley's
up-
gonna multi-class into contract lawyer.
I am.
Simply put, choose your words carefully, don't do something that pisses her off, and we'll be fine.
Should you take her a scone?
Oh shit, she might like scones, we don't know. Okay, so... Colin, I have no idea how to do this. But...
I mean, if you're trying to get in contact with her, all you have to do is basically talk. You know she's
Fair,
always
fair.
watching.
You have to call her mommy, though.
Oh shit! Are we gonna talk to Santa Claus?
Yeah, basically. Okay, I'll pull the mask out and put it in front of my face like I'm talking to it. I'll look at where its eyes would be. I know we didn't part on necessarily the best of terms, Baba, but I have some possible new deals for you and some friends that would like to speak to you. Let's see what she does. See if anything happens. I'm scared.
Is Baba Yaga a mom?
Yeah,
like
she's
a
natural
mommy.
haggy looking thing, or is she a Dami mommy?
There is
Oh,
nothing. There is nothing that happens.
Phenomenal. No response, no nothing.
No,
Great.
nothing.
Try giving it to them. See if she'll talk to them.
Can it leave my person, Colin? I don't even know.
I mean, you can hand it around, but the only person it works for is you.
Cool. I'll put the mask on me. See if that does anything.
You pull the mask down over your face, and you can see. I'll roll a perception check.
Boy. Rest in pepperonis. 15.
The firelight seems to coalesce into an orangish path of white light that leads off into the wilderness.
Interesting. Okay. So in other words, it's just pointing me in a direction.
Yes, well, basically well away from the ship.
Well, if people are coming with me, now's the time.
No, I certainly feel like I need to go with you to help you, just in case.
Just in case. Okay. Well, if those three idiots will come with me, and Elikul and Henley, I guess we'll
Yeah, wait, take a scone.
take a scan. I'll take a scan for Baba. She might like it.
Alright.
I'll have no fears like a double scone.
Who all are going
God.
to Baba Yaga's house?
I am going.
Me too.
Okay. So Henley and Alec Cool and Aruna.
Oh, Baba boy.
Alright, that is Aruna's Moonwell.
I thought we were seeing Baba Yaga, not Baba Booey.
Baba Baba Booey.
Oh no, the creepy mute.
Aruna, you are actually surprised to find that as you walk forward, you find yourself just generally slowly listing almost to the left. Until you realize you're walking in a massive circle, but instead of finding your way moving back towards the airship, large trees rise up. The sky that was already sort of bright begins to turn completely, or the sky that was already dark and glittered with stars begins to turn completely pitch black. And the air grows chill as you find yourself walking through a forest that has the faintest hints of snow on the ground. You're sure that you should have turned around towards the Skyweaver, but instead you only find yourself walking into a darker and denser forest as the trees grow closer and closer all around until you can faintly see before you what appears to be a glowing, faint firelight. A lantern on the porch of an old, decrepit hut that sits on the ground, circular with a wickedly crooked and strange-looking roof that has a single sort of stove-top chimney that rises out from it. You can see the door actually already sits slightly ajar, a faint hint of light coming from the crack between the door and the jamb. You can hear Tim, Jerry, and Kyle say, Are you sure about this? Is this a better deal?
You made a deal with the devil and you're worried about the witch house?
Deal with a devil?
A devil, whatever.
Yes.
Well, she's just a hag.
That's true. In this case, she is the hag, though.
That's true.
They don't need to know that.
Just like I said, think about what you say very carefully. Don't
Like
agree
I
to
said, if
anything
you don't want
want
to, if you don't want to make a deal, don't make it.
You know, Aruna, you know that you're entering into the realm of Baba Yaga. And you have to be very thoughtful about what you do here. As you approach the door, seeing that it sits slightly ajar, you can already feel, or you can already smell the smell of an acrid tea that wafts through the air, almost acidic and quite unpleasant. The faint hiss of a kettle over fire. You don't even touch the door before you hear a sort of raspy, raggedy voice say, that says, "It's open, Aruna."
Boy.
Phenomenal.
Is this Aruna's mom?
I will open the door and say, Baba, we have guests.
She has already set up what appears to be, instead of the two sort of lumpy armchairs that were previously around, she set up several chairs. The two lumpy chairs as well as several wooden chairs that are, much to your chagrin, each one of the wooden chairs has a single leg that's slightly too short and it wobbles.
Sick.
Yes.
Yes. I got that much from your message. And all things considered, I suppose I did not need to meet with all of them, but I will. Have a seat, my dears. Would you like a cup of tea? But you immediately get the feeling that that is not a request.
Yeah, I sit the fuck down before anyone else does.
I sit down and I tell her I would love some tea.
I sit down and go, yes?
Your apprehension is unwarranted. Your life will not be at risk here.
I can't remember last time I had tea.
The tea she pours you is thick, slightly gloopy. It's brown with a faintly greenish tinge, and you can almost see the vapors that rise up for you. It is acrid and acidic and earthy at the same time. You can see Jerry, Kyle, and Tim all sort of nervously look at you, Aruna, and take the teacups. As she looks at you, Aruna, and says, "You called upon me, and all things considered, I've deemed it worth my time. You want something from me, don't you?"
Okay, so I I would assume she derives pleasure from these deals, right? Like,
Yes,
she's
in
all
a
about
way.
this shit. Okay. Consider it the possibility of more help towards our mutual ventures.
Why, I've already got the best help working on it.
Well, I appreciate the notion. It would be nice to bring more friends into the fold.
You know what I would rather have? I don't want more friends, Runa. I want an accelerated timeline. I've already told you I've grown wary of you beating around the bush. I want my answers. It's been many months since I've granted you a piece of my power, and I've gotten little in regards of returns. These mere mortals, their deals are little to me. The work of a devil, even one such as this one, I grow and see is a paltry devil. Something you should be able to deal with, Aruna.
Okay, that puts
It means
things in
quite
perspective.
little. I can make deals with them, but I don't care about their souls or their services. I care about your service. I care about what was guaranteed to me by you. And I don't want it 6 months from now or a year from now. I want it as soon as possible, Aruna.
I'm kind of just stunned to silence at the.
Well, not to interrupt, but what was promised, if you don't mind my asking?
I have no idea what's going on.
You asking me or asking Baba?
I'm asking Baba.
Do you want to know?
I mean, sure, why not?
Well, I'll make a deal with you for it.
What's the deal?
Your silence, unconditionally, on the deal. Not
Sure.
only your silence, but the silence of everyone in this room. Arunas
Well,
is already
I mean-
assured.
I can't guarantee theirs, but I can guarantee my own.
If they are all willing to guarantee the silence, then I will allow it. I'll speak
What
to
do you
of
mean
this
by-
deal.
What do you
can-
mean by that? I want to know what I want to know what I'm agreeing to before I
Do
agree
not
to it.
speak of it, write of it, think of it to anyone. It will remain the secret of your own, one between myself and yourself.
Could I speak of it to Aruna?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
She may speak of it to you. She is, at the end of the day, the primary executor of this contract.
So if she speaks of it to me, that's fine, but I'm not allowed to bring it up. Gotcha.
You cannot.
Can we respond to what she says about it?
No. She will merely speak of it. Anything
Okay,
that you
well.
have to say to her about it is unimportant.
Sure.
So she's was supposed to say like, "Hey, what do you think of X?" And then I responded with Y. I can't do that. Is
You
what you're saying?
cannot. There will be no speaking of this deal.
It's fine by me.
Yeah, that's fine.
What do these three jobbers have to say?
They say, look to each other and say, look, we don't, as Jerry says, we don't know anything about the deal or these people, you know? If you want us to keep quiet about it, that shouldn't be that big of a deal. But I think it's only fair that you help us out.
That's some brave shit right there.
Jerry is going to roll an intimidation or a persuasion check.
Bold move, Jerry.
Aruna, what do you think? Should I help them out?
Oh god. Okay.
Do you want me to help them out?
So all these people, Colin, are like poor, downtrodden, like
They're
fucked
not.
up.
It seems like they've largely taken jobs based on how much money that they were getting paid.
Man, do we feel bad for slavers essentially? I think, unfortunately, Baba, that's between them and you.
No, I don't think you understand, dear. Oh. I'm making it part of your deal.
Ah, fucking shit! God damn it!
You can walk away. But what if those core animals and the people that no doubt will be captured later? It's only a matter of time.
I mean, truthfully, it's also only a matter of time before he's frozen over and dead.
I think you'd be surprised. Well, Aruna,
What?
let's have it.
Ooh, man. What is the cost of all these people going free? That's their question. Okay, so Colin. Ito doesn't really know a bunch about the Green Lady, right?
Not really.
Okay.
He knows some stuff. He's never really pursued it.
That's what I thought, because that's a big issue with this. Oh god, what do I... So, what you're telling me is it's a guarantee that all of those people and all those animals go free if we incorporate this.
She sort of smiles and she says, I guarantee that they will be released from their cages. You have my assurances of that much.
Look at Henley and Alicool. What are they? What kind of vibe am I getting from these poor shitheads I brought with me?
I could go either way. If it wasn't very evident, I could take or leave these people. But that being said, I feel like the devil is an issue. So
I don't particularly care what happens to them, but I feel like if we can get them from his employ, it might weaken him somehow. I asked Baba Yaga what she knows about devils and how to deal with them.
Well, the way to deal with the devil is to make a deal with them that they don't understand, which is quite rare and quite difficult for someone of your relative meager intelligence.
That's fair, I'm not that bright.
Alternatively, you can dispel them to their own plane, chase them down onto that plane, and see that they're dispatched forever.
Well,
Also, probably limited based on your arcane ability.
That's also fair. Would removing them from his service aid us in that endeavor, or?
Well, it certainly couldn't hurt you in that endeavor.
So what you're saying, what happens to them is of no consequence to us. It doesn't help us or hurt us.
The reality is that they are minor and unimportant players in the grand scheme of the world. As Kyle says, now wait just to make it unimportant.
Well, couldn't you say something about him, though? If he's just a single devil?
As far as him, I suppose the same could be said. He is strong enough in his own right, but at the end of the day, he's just a single devil.
Alright, but
It's
we still want to deal
interesting,
with.
however, I would say that he feels the need to establish himself on the material plane instead of rise up to the ranks of devils.
Does that show like a weakness?
Does it?
I don't know. I'm actually asking you. I have no idea.
She says, I can answer that. What price?
I don't think it's worth that. I mean, I assume that I already made one contract today. I don't think I should make more. Two. I made 2 contracts today. Which is the one where I can't talk about Eruna's thing.
Okay.
We haven't made that yet because we haven't heard.
Well, I assume that, you know, that's why I agreed to make that.
Runa?
I will look at the 3, and I will say, leave, do not come back. It is not worth it. I'm gonna usher them out the fucking door. And see if Baba lets them leave.
She doesn't stop him.
Okay.
She turns to you and says, doesn't change the deal, Runa. If you wish to have their contracts worked on, even their lives on the very line, all that matters is your deal. It's all I'm interested in.
Well, if they're gone, I would like to hear the deal.
Very well, with your sworn silence. Deal is, Runa will find everything she knows about and lead me to the location of this green lady. If that means she has to torture, strangle her friend, then she will. But I want to know where she is.
Well, it's a good thing he probably has less of a clue than Aruna does.
But I want her to push him to find out.
Oh.
I couldn't care less about you finding the green lady, so I will in no way impede that.
Oh,
I don't care what steps she has to take. But that is the deal. Alternatively, should she fail to do that, it falls back to the previous deal. Her sister's soul.
How long would it take to get to the Elderoy hand from the capital? Well, okay, the capital we can just teleport, right?
From the capital, you can teleport.
Okay.
We could pretty easily get there once we get the teleportation circle on the boat. Which is ideally the next place we're going, so.
Alright, Baba, I understand the urgency, but I need a clear and concise timetable between the 2 of us.
You have 3 months.
No, hold on. I, kind of recall my position on the map, right?
Yeah.
So we are there. So
You're
that's
somewhere around here.
okay. So that would be another
It is 1 week per square of travel with the airship.
So we've got 3 and some change weeks till we get to Volderstedt. Or Verlason, excuse me. Where we would get the circle.
Yes.
So that's a month.
Yep, and it would take some time to upgrade the airship.
Yeah. So a month and a half, I would say, or a month and a week to get to where we can even get the circle. And that's not including that the entire crew also plans on going up to the Three Sisters.
Yep.
Which is another 1, 2, 3 and some change weeks.
Yep.
We're supposed to go to Cody and my home too when we get there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna be there for a while.
So that's about another month.
Would Verlason have like an in-place teleportation circle anyway?
I mean, theoretically, yes.
Okay, that cuts down time because then I wouldn't have to use the airship one.
That being said, I feel like it would draw attention if you were to just disappear again.
Okay, I need some clarity on this, Baba Yaga. What do you mean, get you the Green Lady? Like, I'm not gonna interfere. I just want to know what you mean.
I want to know where she is. She's hidden on this material plane for far too long from me.
So you just want to know where she is? That's all you want? You just want to know? We're not like, kidnapping his god and bringing her to you?
I want you to find her so that I know where she is.
Okay, that's a much different interpretation than I had.
Could you give us 5 months?
Depends. Do you have anything to offer me?
What would you like? I don't know what someone of your stature would value from me. I've been currently gifted with an exceptionally long life, and I would like to keep that, but other than that...
She smiles at you and she says, I want 1 week.
1 week of what?
Of your service, to be called upon whenever I need it. I'll even give you 6 months for it.
Months for a week of service.
A week of service. What would this week of service entail?
I am not a harsh mistress. I don't seek you to scrub my pots and pans or anything like that. I merely ask that you do what I ask you to do in that week. And I promise you it will not be demeaning or unseemly. Will not be cooking for me or anything like that. But there may be a time where I need a sword arm, a skilled sword arm.
Skilled sword arm.
Yes. Someone to fight for me.
And what would I be fighting?
I suppose that remains to be determined, doesn't it? But I can assure you it will not be anyone situated around this table right now.
Well, that's a relief.
This wouldn't impede on my dedication to the Mantis Queen.
Absolutely not.
And this also wouldn't impede on the prevention of the Everfrost in my fight against it,
Not at all.
then you have a deal.
Oh shit.
She smiles and says, very good. Sip your tea, dear boy. She motions for you to drink from the cup.
I do.
It's bitter and acrid, and you can almost feel it wash over you. As she smiles and says, 6 months' time, Aruna. You should thank your friend for extending it. Otherwise, I would come for that power, and I would come for your sister. But as it stands, dear girl, we are square. As for you, Alec Cool, of Bears Kum Lahore, our deal is struck. 1 week of service. To be determined whenever I need it. And she kind of smiles. Now, as to the nature of your friends here, or as to the nature of the souls of your friends, I don't suppose you want anything done about that.
Do you mean me and Aruna, or the 3 guys?
The 3 who have their lives bound to this devil.
Man, it's up to them, isn't it?
They got dismissed.
What would you ask for in return to deal with this devil?
Bring me a piece of him.
Piece of him?
Yes. Flesh of a devil can be a powerful reagent. Especially a particularly powerful devil. I merely asked you bring a piece of him, and I'll see that their precious souls are freed from that contract.
Aruna?
Would it,
Bentley?
would it help you make up your decision if you knew that those animals would also be freed?
I mean, I imagine it would indeed sway Henley here.
Such awful
Yeah,
suffering
but-
for innocent beasts.
I don't want to ever do that again, though. I don't like the idea of his zoo.
If we bring back a piece of him, can you ensure he doesn't come back to the prime material plane?
She sort of leans back and says, I can ensure that there is a way that he won't come back to this plane.
Do we have a time frame? Or is it just whenever we get around to it?
Well, I won't make a time frame for it, but should he leave, good luck tracking him down again.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you weren't, like, in a week or something.
I imagine by a week, he'll be ready for you and prepared, likely gone from here. He's been found out. Devils don't like when they're found out.
Okay, so piece of a slain devil for the safe release of the
She didn't say
soul.
slain, she just said a piece.
Yeah.
I merely want a piece of him.
That being said, if I were to make a deal for a piece of him to be given, a piece of his flesh to be given, in order, just any way you can get the piece.
Indeed, although I suspect you'll have Good luck trying to part him from it willingly.
It's fair enough. Regardless, a peace, and if no peace is retrieved, nothing is freed.
Nothing is
that's-
freed.
And we're neither of us are at any loss. So if it just doesn't succeed,
It doesn't
nothing happens.
succeed, their souls remain bound, the animals remain caged.
Well, I will agree to it if these two do as well.
Yeah, I mean,
And of course, should you bring me the peace, I will ensure that there is a way that he is never able to come back to this plane and conduct his terrible business upon the creatures of this material realm.
alright.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
Hell yeah.
Well, she motions for you to take a sip of the tea.
I take a sip of the tea.
Alright, much to the same as the previous deal. It's an acrid taste that washes over you. A deal that in and of itself does not necessarily have a timetable, but you also understand that having been found out, he's likely not to stick around. She sits back in her chair. You having learned a little bit of the deal that Aruna has struck, and having struck new deals. She kind of smiles, nodding her head, motioning for you to finish the tea, as you almost feel compelled to do so. And in doing so, finding yourself slipping into blackness as a magical sleep sort of overtakes you. This circular room filled with doors sort of slowly fades to darkness as you hear the faint cackle of Baba Yaga echoing in your ears as you slowly drift into a magical slumber. Alright.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal indeed.
Today's been an interesting day for Henley.
Oh yeah.
Alright. I was say, who's ready for Aruna to roll an investigation check?
Oh, am
was
I?
like, or it's like Aruna, roll a Baba Yaga law check or deal check.
Oh no. Yeah, it'll probably be fine. Unless you
Roll.
really want me to make a check.
Roll one. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Roll
roll
it.
one. Roll one. You can think about it after the fact. If you want
An
to.
investigation.
Investigation.
23.
She has made a deal with you that at the end of the day, you could have done without making a deal with her. If you had just gone and dealt with him, they would have been freed anyways. Now she has bound you to a deal to do it.
Yeah.
So she's gotten something from you, and the price is you could have gone and done something without giving something to her, and it would have been this exact same result.
Well, I certainly wouldn't have fucking known that. I blame them.
At the end of
They're
the day,
the magic ones who know that
at the
shit.
end of the day, dealing with him would have freed them anyways. But now she's gotten you to do it, and she's getting something from you for doing it.
Well, to be fair, we also probably wouldn't have been able to guarantee he couldn't come back.
She did not guarantee he won't come back. She said she'll guarantee that you have a way to get him to not come back.
That's more than we could have done alone.
Yeah.
But
Also the timetable advancement.
you did advance her. You now have 6 months to deal with it because she is getting impatient.
Yeah, to say the least.
Alright. But you wake up basically at dawn outside the Skyweaver. and we can go back to the regular place. Oh my god. Everybody's gone. Oh my god, there's a cat in front of Lou.
Yeah.
Lou turned
This
into
is
a
peanut
cat.
Blue's got a hairy pussy.
Hell yeah, brother.
This dude, peanut butter is fluffy as all hell. Oh,
Yeah.
look at this.
Creamy.
Look at how fucking giant this fucking thing.
Look at that
Alright,
pussy's pussy.
So bad news, Venta. We sold your soul.
What?
What?
Well, mostly your foot.
We decided
What?
that it's because you're missing a leg, so you're only most of a soul. You're like, 5/6 of a soul.
Why are you bargaining with my soul without me present?
I don't think it works like that. So you're fine.
Everyone who didn't go make a deal with Baba Yaga, the night passes relatively uneventfully. You see in the after dinner, like the 3 workers for Mr. Mystul leave to head back, trudge back to the place because they have to be ready to work in the morning by 5. You fall asleep on the Skyweaver, and the people that left don't return. But they're there in the morning, outside the ship, laying face up into the morning light. As the sun rises, you see Henley, or Aruna, Alec-Cool. Like I said, the 3 that left are like I said, they ended up returning back to the ship once they left Baba Yaga's, or not the ship, they returned back to the group after they left Baba Yaga's. You find yourself just kind of staring up. Henley, Aruna, Alec-Cool, each of them a little bit drained, a little bit pale.
I'm always pale.
I'm about to say, do bugs get pale?
They pale in comparison to anything else.
Fucking goddamn it.
Right.
What happened to you guys?
The deal has been struck. I do have to go pee. I'll be right back.
So, what exactly did you bargain away of mine?
Nothing, you fool.
Oh.
If we're gonna bargain someone away on the ship, it'd be Ida.
We bargained
Yeah.
nothing away of anything that we couldn't give ourselves.
Cat, that's my gamepad. You can't.
One of you actually has my foot, and the foot of my soul inside of it.
We don't?
Yeah, nah. If anyone has the foot, it's that Kraken or whatever we fought.
What I could do, Max, is turn your foot into meat.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I think that went really well, guys. Good job.
Do you, Tommy?
Alright, Fluffy Cat. I think it's time
Nope.
for you to go.
I told Rick I was about like 30 seconds off from sacrificing 3 random people for something. I thought about
Oh
it.
god damn. She offered you a magic item for the souls.
No, I thought of a couple things.
That'd break
I
their
won't tell.
contracts. They couldn't pay them if they're dead.
Yeah.
I mean,
Have you found a spot to just settle
Is there a
down?
clause
I
in the
think about it,
contract
too.
that it would move to their next of kin?
I don't know.
Not our problem.
He found a spot. Or not. Okay. Come on, let's go.
Alright, they bargained away Venta's butthole.
Oh, I wouldn't use that anyway. I don't really have one. I feed on radiation like a mutant.
Let's say you have to use a colostomy bag.
Alright,
Fluffy Cat.
what would you like to do?
End the session with us flying off into the sunset. No kidding.
I
With us
mean,
carving
I'm assuming
bombing.
because it's 8 o'clock, we're going to...
I'd like to know what the deal was.
All you need to know is we found a way to deal with it, and we need to go back and kill him.
Alright.
Nice.
So they're coming with
Well,
us?
okay, we don't need to kill him. We need to.
We need to shave his skin off.
Pound of flesh.
That's not a
Oh.
pound of flesh. Any flesh at
Okay.
all. She didn't say how much. She said flesh of him. So give her like a little nugget of some skin.
But she also said he's not likely to just give it to you.
No, that's true.
But do you make your way back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside
Yeah,
magical
you're a
mystical Mr. Mystul's magical menagerie, you can see a very tired Kyle, Tim, and Jerry standing outside. You can see they have bags under their eyes. The clockwork man at the ticket counter sort of stands ever present. And you actually see Mr. Mystul is standing out front, sort of berating the three men, saying, "You should be more peppy. Customers aren't gonna want to deal with people that have bags under their eyes. Think about your appearance before you come to work."
Wow, what a dick.
Yes.
Ooh, customers. Return customers. He smiles. Welcome back. I knew that you couldn't stay away. You didn't get a good chance to view the rest of the attractions. You didn't even see the Koator village.
The what?
The Koator village. The village of Kuatoa.
I told you there was some weird stuff in it. A guy with an octopus for a head.
I could give less of a fuck about the fucking guy with an octopus for a
It's
head than
still-
to thank you.
But
I
for,
thought it was neat.
he pats the clockwork automaton, saying, "We're open for business." And he
Alright.
walks inside.
Can I call to him before he walks the fuck off?
Standing in the doorway. Yes?
Okay. Theoretically, how much for some of your skin?
My skin?
Yes. Flesh.
Why?
Spell component?
Roll a deception check.
Is that
Yeah,
technically lying though?
Technically, it is
Yeah,
for a
but
spell component.
It's a half truth.
It's a half truth.
I guidance you.
That's not true. He didn't say who was a spell component for.
That's true. Deception. Hey, I'm gonna do it.
With
That's pretty
guidance.
That's not
With the
bad.
With guidance.
There, 18.
He smiles at you and says, "Well, that's certainly not part of the entrance fee. Come, have a tour of the zoo."
Okay, money and tour.
You can see
Flash.
almost immediately, but he does narrow his eyes. What's your passive insight?
Mine?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Mine's a 19.
You can see he immediately, he's almost,
I'm 16.
you can just see the way he narrows his eyes. He doesn't, he feels like something is wrong here just by you asking that.
I mean, everything's literally wrong around this guy, so it's pretty normal. I tried.
Come on in, friends. But he walks into the doorway and disappears into the tunnels.
Oh boy.
Kyle, Jerry, and Tim sort of step to the side and say, Did you figure something out?"
I guess
He
we'll
invited
see.
us in, so we don't have to pay the entrance fee, right?
Unfortunately, that's not the case. But you only have to pay one. Your account as a child.
Yeah. The problem will be sorted shortly.
Here's the deal. Kyle and Jerry and Tim, you will pay our entrance fee and we will get you free.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
So, neutral.
'Cause they
Oh
are
boy.
desperate as fuck.
Let's go.
13.
Hey,
Nice.
they sort of look at
Now
each
that's a-
other, and they, you can see Jerry says,
Oh.
"And if you do this, you'll be able to help us out, right?"
Wouldn't you still only have a 6?
Yeah, I would have a 6. I was about to say that. But yes, we would indeed be able to help you out if you let us in. But you have to get us in. Technically, I already spent 130 gold here. I would really like to not spend any more.
They look at each other. Do you think you could pay us back a little bit when after this is all done? I mean, we got
Yeah,
families.
you won't be a slave
Yes.
anymore.
All right, we can pay it in. As they each sort of get together and pull their money, and they pay for all of you to enter.
point to read. That one's a child. He's only 1 gold.
Yeah, that's right. As one of them pats the clockwork guy. See, he's only this tall. That's kid size, right? As the clockwork gold
Man.
just takes the gold.
If only Catholics get kid prices everywhere.
Oh.
And you step
This isn't
inside.
much of an issue when this foot is going to be in your ass.
Damn.
Joke's on
clutch
you,
my
I don't have an
prosthetic foot.
ass.
Reed, I don't want to know about your fetishes.
As you step inside, the first thing you're greeted by is the elderly owlbear that was in the petting zoo, sort of walking around. As a voice, you hear a voice that echoes, a piece of my flesh, huh? What was the deal you made, mage?
Did he just use magic as a slur?
Oh my god. He did. Fuck you, that's the deal.
I need to turn on the torchlight. 1 sec. Repeat.
He's a wizard cyst.
Well, if you want your pound of flesh, come claim it.
I fucking hate this guy so much.
But have fun walking through my magical menagerie. As he sort of as the laughs echo throughout the hallways, as we'll end it right there, as you're gonna have to go in, and he has indeed freed his animals, but he's freed his animals for you to deal with, as you try to find him within. We'll end it right there. Hopefully Connor will be back next week to fight his way through the tunnels of this zoo, to deal with this devil posing as a human wizard. But that'll be next week.